Be the right club. Be the right club today. Yes!
Johnny, that's better than most. How about in? That is better than most. Better than most! Expect anything different?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first No Laying Up live show of 2026. Now brought to you by our friends at Titleist. We'll get to that here shortly. Thank you to those tuning in live. We are 5 wide tonight. Solly here, joined by Mr. DJ Pie. Hello, Pie Man.
Greetings, guys. Happy New Year. Great to be here. Can't wait to chop it up. It's going to be a little bit of a golf chop sesh tonight. I'm excited for it.
The big guy is here. Hello, Big Randy.
Hi. Yeah, echo DJ's sentiments. Great to be here. Whole new year. Excited.
TC is here. Hello, TC.
Hey, Solly, just riding high on the back of that 8th straight victory here in Duval.
By an average of 19.1 points, I believe, if you want to clarify that. Neil is here as well. Hello, Neil.
Fired up, gentlemen. Greetings. Let's do this.
A lot to talk about. We do not have live golf this week. We're going to catch up on some news and notes from the last couple of weeks. Friday afternoon, like 4:30 news drop right before the holiday.
Christmas Eve or the 23rd? Something
tough.
Crazy? Yeah.
Tough timing for our cadence of shows. That Brooks Koepka will be leaving LIV Golf. We're going to talk a little bit about Bryson's current negotiation status with LIV. Some very tough news, I think it's fair to say, regarding the National Links Trust. Hopefully you guys got a chance to hear that interview with Mike McCartan before the Christmas break. TGL is kicking off. And on the back half, we've got a bunch of prompts that everyone's going to weigh in on as we try to predict what's going to happen this year in golf. Before we do that, shout out to our friends at Titleist. The No Laying Up live show and podcast this year is going to be presented by our friends at Titleist. Of course, the #1 ball in golf. We're going to go around the horn quickly. Everyone's going to give a highlight, a favorite shot, favorite moment, a highlight from your year on the course. I'm going to kick it off. TC, the shot that came to mind is when we're at the 18th hole at the Tree Farm, the cut driver into the hill slope that ended up about 2 feet from the hole on 18, a little drivable 4, getting some creativity with the golf ball, and that GT3 was my highlight moment. Deej?
Yeah, I'll say I'll shout out the irons. The whole high pie thing was a joke for, it still is kind of a joke. The highlight of my year, I think, was Solly being like, man, you do hit it whole high a lot. I was like, yeah, thanks, dude.
Was there one shot?
No, I'm just saying it's just the whole every shot I hit with the irons. They're all tied.
A lot of shots.
It's a lot of shots. Well, not as many as it used to be. That's the whole thing.
Big guy?
Guys, so many that I could choose from. You know that. No, I was thinking I hit a 5-iron dead into the wind on the 18th hole at Mammoth Dunes this year, and it was maybe 165 yards. The wind was blowing, and I just hit it so flush, went hole high about 8 feet. Like, not a better feeling than a shot like that. That's the one that sticks.
Manage the Conditties, big guy. I love it.
TC, I'm dead serious here. One moment.
Neil saw it. It was number 7 at Terra Edie. Thought I made an ace. Thought I joined the elusive brotherhood. Solly. It was, I think it was a little bunty driver, a little spinny driver up straight into the wind, kind of quartering off the left, and just laced it. It was awesome.
Neil.
Not my best shot, but Ben On taught me how to hit a stinger at a
that was
Titleist
awesome.
photo shoot, and it was a bit of a hit. I hit the shot Butch moment, and I don't think I'll ever be able to do it again, but it was really cool, and it's on camera somewhere. So
I was there. As long as both of us are alive.
It was really sick.
So sick. Yeah. It looks like it was like 3 feet behind your back foot.
I know.
Blind
So is
eye.
his setup. He's only got a driver and all irons in his bag.
Yeah.
Mad respect for Ben On. He's a true striker of the ball.
Yeah.
Can you do that shot again, or is it?
I don't
Is that
know.
like
I
a
mean,
one and
maybe
done?
it's like anytime you get these tips, they go
Pretty
in one year
dangerous.
like, I'm never gonna chip bad again, and then like 2 weeks later, like, what did he tell me? What did Russell Henley tell me? So anyway,
I got a new chipping field. That reminds me. Anyways, let's get to the news of the last couple of weeks. LIV Golf made a big announcement titled "Statements on Taylor Gooch Taking Over as Smash GC Captain." This was, I think, the first question on everyone's mind. Do we think Gooch can pick up where Koepka led off in terms of leadership and what he's done kind of managing Smash GC. No, TC, I'll throw it to you first for your reaction. Brooks Koepka leaving Live Golf. What does this all mean? Explain it to me.
God, I got to figure out who's taking his place on Smash. Have they announced that yet?
I think it's going to be Rory or Scotty. That's what I've read on the Everything app. Is they have some big names coming this winter. Yeah.
No, it felt like the writing was on the wall for this one for a little bit. Between various columns, talking to various people, just Brooks's general apathy towards Liv. Eamon Lynch typically has a pretty good handle on all things Brooks and all things kind of Jupiter scene. And I think he had foretold this in some columns that he had written. And really overall, it just felt like it was kind of a slow bleed leading towards that. And the fact that it happened December 23rd or 24th was kind of the cherry on top of just, like, thank you, Brooks. You've done so much here at Liv. Thank you for everything you've done. We wish you the best in your future endeavors, kind of thing. And then the tour puts out that cryptic statement, which I loved. It's great.
So the Liv statement was, we have amicably and mutually agreed that Brooks Koepka will no longer compete in Liv Golf League following the 2025 season. Brooks is prioritizing the needs of his family and staying closer to home. Also a reason given for why he left for Liv. We can maybe cover that in a future time period. The PGA Tour quickly came out with a very definitive statement that, I don't think we need to, kind of says it all, really bottom lines it. Brooks Koepka is a highly accomplished professional. We wish him and his family continued success. The PGA Tour continues to offer the best professional golfers the most competitive, challenging, and lucrative environment in which to pursue greatness.
I feel like this statement kind of did some numbers. I know it was very vague, and a lot of people, it was like an art, like a abstract art piece almost.
It's kind of a sick statement. Yeah,
it
made me think. I was like, actually, I think that's pretty. I mean, it's cool. That's like, yeah, good for you guys. Kind of
new comms head at the tour. Paul Hicks coming in and saying hello world.
Yeah,
we're gonna get weird here.
That first line is indirectly translated. We see you, player. All right, we see you.
I see you balling.
Pretty highly accomplished professional. We got you. Yeah. I see you.
That resume. 5 majors. Okay. All right.
I was exhilarated when I saw this news. I don't know how you guys felt. I know, like you said, Tron, it's kind of been in the wind for a while, and it was always like, that might happen. When it actually happened, I was pumped up for. I think everybody kind of got addicted to the juice of who's leaving, who's staying, who's going, what's happening. And for the last year or so, those storylines have just disappeared, and they're just, it's like, okay, we'll get back to the golf, but now I'm addicted to all this other stuff off the course. And this is the first time that I'm like, maybe the writers are back here. They've got a storyline that I can't wait to see what happens with Brooks now. I don't know, man. I was pumped. We could talk about what it all means and what's going to happen, but I was into it.
Those storylines disappeared. Did you stop following Pro Golf Critic and
yeah, that's true. Well, other than the Siwoo Kim stuff and who's Sung Jae and some of those.
Pen Baller was all all that one too. You're really not on the app anymore, are you, DH?
No, I'm not. I missed out.
On a nothing app. I don't want to say a serious note, but Brooks if this was investing, he's kind of doing it right. He was on the front end of the Live, he probably got 100 million, maybe. I don't know what the exact number was. Was his contract going through the end of 26? So he's probably leaving some money on the table. Good for him. He needs to, clearly wants to be at home. I hope everything's going all right at home. Sincerely,
I was gonna say, worth saying. I think it hasn't been going great, right? They had some very public.
Well, I'm saying hopefully it's going better. If he's doing the right thing, is what I'm saying. I mean that. But he's also kind of the first one to try to find the life raft. You know what? Be one of the early ones off the sinking ship, maybe. So he seems to be good with Brooks. Seems to be good with timing, I guess is what I'm getting at here.
Well, it's also mask on before helping others.
Yes, well said, TC.
Many people have been talking about this for a reason, for literal years. Brooks would tell anyone who would listen that he did not Live Golf, was not enjoying it, wanted to get back on the PGA Tour. That was not made up chatter.
He was the captain of his team, and he didn't wear the team's uniform, which was kind of the whole. That was maybe my favorite part. Kind of knock on effects of this is it very quickly pivoted when I did get back on the app. TC, it very quickly pivoted to just I mean, this might be a good thing if you really think about it. Maybe he just wasn't that into it in the first place. It could be an opportunity, to like.
We only want people that want to be here.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, well, I don't think losing Brooks is a good thing for the league, but sure.
It's like Trey Hendrickson with the Bengals, right, Randy?
That's an unnecessary cheap shot, TC.
So what happens here? What happens now? It is, the PGA Tour has been steadfast in what the punishment is. If you go and play LIV Golf, you are suspended. Even if you're not a member of the PGA Tour, you're suspended for at least a year from the last time you've played.
Which he's not, because he didn't renew his membership after 23, I think.
So I think that's correct. Yeah.
So there's all these wrinkles. Dylan DeChair wrote a really good piece for golf.com about, kind of laying out what might happen, what has happened, what do we know, and when did we know it, sort of piece. And yeah, the big thing, like you mentioned, Solly, is like a lot of the guys, like it's for non-members, it's basically been a year from your last LIV start. And so for Brooks, that would be August 24th was his last LIV start. Coincidentally, a year from that is the Tour Championship. And so it's just kind of like, I don't know. Is there a world where Brooks, I'm kind of here for the world where Brooks maybe plays a handful of DP World Tour events while he's suspended from the PGA Tour. He plays all the majors. And then I was like joking, as I'm writing my notes, I'm like, is there a world where Brooks Koepka comes back, like breaks his contract with LIV Golf to come back to the PGA Tour at the Good Championship this fall? I'm just like,
I thought you were going to say TGL.
What a world. Oh, that's a whole other thing we can talk about. They were trying to really make a meal out of, will he come to TGL? It's like, who gives a shit, man? That's a whole other thing, maybe.
Well,
but
it's worth pointing out the policy was put in place by a previous regime at the PGA Tour under a non-profit model, and the PGA Tour is now Brian Rolap is the new CEO of the PGA Tour. The PGA Tour has evolved to PGA Tour Enterprises has evolved into a for-profit model. So does that
nothing matters? Or for building the plane as we're flying it,
they can throw out. What we've kind of fantasized about this in some way of like, do you just do a one-time offer? Like, Rom, you can come back right now and get right back on right now on the PGA Tour. Anybody that comes back now is good. Anybody that doesn't is going to stay suspended. It's
electric. Tune in next week to find out.
Do you think they're rewriting it to be like, can they write a policy that's like, all right, if you have won 2 majors or a major and a players for
5 majors
and
4 PGA Tour events.
Yeah. Can you write the rules so that anybody you want to come back, like, don't worry about Abe Answer, don't worry about Jason Kokrak. Like, can you write the rules so like the 5 or 6 guys you would even want back can come back? Is that like what they're currently working on? Like, again, I trust Eamon's like gut on this. And like, as much as we made fun of the statement, like, he put out a tweet that said, much mockery of a statement that seemingly says nothing, but the fact is it was ready to go 23 minutes after LIV announced Koepka's departure, says a great deal. The tour knew it was coming and intended to signal he's welcome back pending the internal housekeeping process to get there. So like, what does the internal housekeeping process look like? I don't know the answer to that.
Give me 5, Hail Marys and 10 Our Fathers and a little Habitat for Humanity, and you're back, baby.
I like I like the kind of one-time amnesty box.
Right?
I did. Yeah. If you shouldn't have brought that through TSA, here you go. Just throw it away. It's okay.
Just like that weed box in Chicago.
Exactly.
Are you still worried about other players that stuck around and their feelings? I mean, that's kind of what a big piece of this was, a couple years ago.
That's real quick, just a piggyback, Neil. That's the thought I had was Sollytron, DJ. You guys are certainly more plugged in than I am. But in your opinion, do the players that are currently on the PGA Tour, do they still want that pound of flesh for the guys like Brooke that departed?
I'll read a quote from one of the loudest voices in the room. Roy McIlroy was on the We Are the Overlap podcast. And he said, I think they've paid their consequence. They've made the money, but they've paid their consequence in terms of the reputation and some of the things they've lost by going over there. If it made the tour overall stronger to have Bryson DeChambeau back and whoever else, I would be okay with it. But it's not just me. And I recognize that not everyone is in my position. It will be up to the collective group of PGA Tour members to make that decision. So I think, and this is, I'm spitballing here, Randy, and I don't have the answer to this, but I think the sentiment among the top players has evolved from the very beginning, from like, fuck these guys, to like, all right, I think we're all better off if a lot of these guys come back. Now, moving when you go farther down that ranking list of guys that are like going to get bumped out potentially of signature events, and there's only 100 cards now, and how many guys are coming back? Wait, I'm 93rd on the list here, and like that all of a sudden puts me kind of in jeopardy. You may get some resistance to that, but this is where I also point to the new structure of the PGA Tour. That I think they're in a lot better position to say, sorry, dude, like play better. I don't think the power is going to lie at the bottom of the PGA Tour as much.
Thing
as
is, though, I mean, Brooks might have to play a little better too. Like he's kind of got
for sure.
Got, you know what I'm saying? So it's like it is bullshit to say just because he's a brand name that like we're gonna plug him into the waste management. I guess past winter, maybe you get away with like an invite for something like that where you could bump him to the front of the line. But at some point, then you run into a bit of an Anthony Kim situation that Liv ran into, where it's like, oh, let's bring this big name in, and then it's like, well, he's playing like shit.
You know, it'd be
like how long does that last?
You know, it could be electric is like I said, if that's the way that the timing works out with the suspensions, it's basically after the tour championship, everybody's technically served a year and you're good to go. Do you just beef up that fall with anybody who wants to come back and say, here you go, man, here's your chance to go play into a full card over these next 8 events or whatever.
Are we sure that Brooks wants to play like a full PGA Tour schedule? Because I'm not. Like I could see him basically saying, hey, I'm gonna, I'll play the majors and maybe pick up a DP World Tour event or 2. But otherwise, like, I'm just going to chill this year, work on my game, work on my health, hang out at home with my family, get things back, in a good place there. And then at some point, moving into 2027, then it's like, all right, you got like, or solid to your point, like use the fall season in 26 to then play your way into these fields in 27 to not have to play the mule, the mule circuit.
If we could get TC, if that comes to fruition, and we could get some like Brooks shot a worse ball 64 at some of these majors this year to pick off where Tiger left off, like count me all the way in on that.
Man, R.I.P. Tim Rosefort. That was his block with Tiger. I feel like he always had good stuff coming out of Orlando before the majors. That's truly some of my favorite reporting. I love that stuff.
It is a great point, TC, and I think I kind of depends on how much his sentiment has changed in the last 15 to 18 months. I think definitively he was saying back in 2023, like, I wish I was still playing on the PGA Tour privately, like to other players. Like,
but he's also the guy that said he didn't care about the PGA Tour and he only cares about majors.
He's won more majors
than PGA Tour events.
PGA Tour events. He's won as many European Challenge Tour events as PGA Tour events.
But if he didn't like the PGA Tour, imagine how much he had to have hated LIV. Like, if he thought PGA Tour was a joke, like dudes out there in shorts and music and shit and matching uniforms, like that had to absolutely kill him.
Most of them in matching uniforms. Not him.
The other cucks.
Yeah, that's to your point, Neil.
His career.
I forgot about him. That's a good point. Gosh, talk about a name I haven't thought of in a minute. To your point though, Neil, I mean, I that's why I think I like the whole I'm not going to be at this party when somebody turns the lights on.
Yeah,
like I'm out of here, which I think just makes Rahm, Hatton, Bryson, like Neiman, all these guys so much more interesting when the coolest kid in the class is kind of like, this is fucking lame. I'm out.
And also Bryson doesn't have
you guys care about that? Oh, okay.
For this year yet.
No. Not until his contract is through this year.
Yeah.
It's through this year?
Yeah. Through this year. Same as Brooks's was.
Okay.
They're both through 26.
Gotcha.
But Bryson now, I don't know if you want to transition into that, Solly, but
not quite yet, because Brody Miller wrote a great column for The Athletic that kind of, you could generally like theorize, like, all right, Brooks is going, is there like about to be a cascade going through here? And he made good points of, and I'll read just some of that column. He said, just as he was leaving the PGA Tour didn't represent what we thought in 2022, Koepka was never Bryson DeChambeau or Phil Mickelson. He wasn't Rory McIlroy either. He was simply a guy who took a deal because he thought it made sense. He did not buy in because Brooks Koepka doesn't care. That's his whole shtick, his persona, his identity. That's not an insult. That's been his charm, for better or worse. The golfing great who didn't like golf. The one who proudly only cared about major championships in such a way he won 5 majors and only 4 PGA Tour events. He never fully committed to any equipment brand because it gave him better flexibility to do what's best. In a modern era in which myth-making is hard to come by, he pulled it off. He goes on to say, Koepka does not represent some massive momentum shift. He is not theoretically going to arrive as an apostate defector torching LIV on his way out. That's not even a clear sign that this is going. there's not even a clear sign that this is going to be an opening of the floodgates. It all might be as simple as Koepka is a golfer who took the money, didn't love it, and isn't desperate to stay. In Koepka's lingo, he just wasn't feeling it, man. I think that's like closer to like
bottom lines it, man. I think I agree with all of that.
I don't think this changes much for Bryson. Like, I don't think Bryson has not, as far as I know, been privately, claiming he didn't. Like, LIV's been great for Bryson. I don't think he's in a hurry to get back to the PGA Tour at all.
I don't even think Bryson needs LIV though either.
Bryson. Well, let's go there because I want to talk about that.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the next domino to fall here. So as a result of this, the next kind of bit of news to break was that Bryson basically was in talking about his next LIV contract, which, so much like Brooks, his current contract goes through 2026. This is all kind of hearsay. These are not published or official anywhere. I guess it's just all kind of been like agreed upon that that's what has happened behind the scenes, is that his contract goes through 2026. And so I think what started to come up was they were starting the negotiations on like, how do we get your next one in place, even before this season. And his little tiny bit of news was like, I don't think that's necessarily going to happen. We've got so much to figure out. We've got, it's got to make sense for both sides. Some very good Bryson quotes, which I believe were given to your boy, Flushing It Golf, exclusively on Instagram.
Mob up, baby.
Yeah. And so there was, a lot of like, it's got to get to a place where it makes sense for both sides. I think that could happen, but you never know. It was a lot of hedging on, it might happen. I think we're in a great spot. I can't wait to grow the game, but also
we're just moving so fast and we're just breaking so much stuff.
Well, no, he's tried not to, Neil. He said they hired a GM for the Crushers, which he did say are just blowing all the other teams away, which I think is probably true.
Balky.
He said we hired a GM and quote, we're hiring more people this year, but it's slow. I'm not expanding too quick like some teams. Don't know who he's talking about there. Got to be TC's Cleats.
Well, I think the Cleats. I think Team Ripper too.
Are they hiring like crazy?
Stylist.
I think Ripper is like, all those guys are so bought in, and they have like they're running it like an actual team. Kind of impressive.
He said, I feel like we're a lean, mean machine. It's done great. We're having positive EBITDA the past few seasons. Our revenue is above $20 million, which is amazing. And next year it's going to be even more. So asked, does he think LIV Golf could improve on anything? Of course, nobody's perfect. No organization is perfect. He did a lot of like, of course, I mean, the PGA Tour has things they could improve, as if the situation is apples to apples, which I don't think it is. He said, but I could tell you the opportunities at LIV and the ability to grow team golf is so intriguing and so interesting to me. That's where I want to be. But ultimately, it's got to make sense for everybody. Very important sentence here, because I could just go do YouTube golf and be totally fine as well. I could go back to the PGA Tour. I could just fuck off and play golf on YouTube, which I think is totally true to our previous
What if he did that and then he went and played like the minor league golf tour that Eric Cole was doing?
Sure. World Long Drive, do some more of that stuff. Like, truly, man, it's a bit like, if you thought the Brooks comes back to the PGA Tour at the Good Invitational was weird. Like, how about if I told you 5 years ago Bryson's gonna hit like his main leverage against the Saudi funded golf league is that he might quit and go play YouTube golf. Is just what a world. It all happens so fast. How did we get here?
Do we know if he leaves LIV, do the Crushers and Yasser and them still have their claws in his YouTube channel, which they
good question
apparently do?
Yeah, who could say?
The big thing, Deej, honestly, there's also just a coming reckoning with the Crushers as well. Of you have Bryson, but then you have like just an aging roster.
Yeah,
all cap space. They're like fucking cap hell, man. They're
Does he want to go through a rebuild? That's a great question.
Feels a bit like the Phillies. I think just
I don't like what the
it's not this year. I don't know. Last quote I'll read here. There was one that was like, with Brooks leaving, it definitely throws in some unique things, yada, yada, yada. But he said, things have got to change. Things have got to improve. I think Scott O'Neill's done a fabulous job with the year that he's had. And I think this year is going to be even better now that he's got the right people in place and can run the organization the way that he wants to. So it's going to be interesting to see, especially with the new branding coming on. Randy, we'll go to you for a sidebar on that in a second. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. I don't run this thing at all. I really don't have much say, to be honest with you, which is funny, but it is what it is, right? And sometimes I wish I had more say, but that's life. And I don't run the organization, and I trust them to do that. And so, gentlemen, what I think I want to ask you guys is everybody, it's not just Bryson. I feel like Brooks said this a bit. I feel like Rom has, said this in so many words too, that there's got to be some changes. There's got to be some improvements. There's got to be some this and that. What does that actually mean to you guys? Solid. What does that mean? Is that money? Is that more people need to care? Is it OWGR? Is it all of these things? And how many of those things even actually matter?
That I'm glad you threw that last part in there, because I don't think there's real, probably OWGR, but that's so incongruous. What's the word there to the way the entire league is run? it was never gonna happen. It was so obvious that was the case, and everyone told them that's the case. So it's not more events, not more money. They're playing more golf now this year for not more money.
More guys playing more golf too. 57 guys playing 4 rounds.
So again, I think you have to put this hat on of all right, we have to pretend that this is a real thing to answer that question. And I just don't have one of those hats lying around.
But I do think sincerely that Bryson does think it's a real thing, and I think he cares about it. And I think the last
be a real thing.
Yeah, the last 2 or 3 sentences there, Deej, it's almost like he couldn't help himself at the end. He's like, well, I'm not really in charge. I mean, I should be, but I'm not. It's like he just couldn't, the id came out a little bit, and he's probably got all these ideas. But I just worry that, Bryson's ideas might be making it more like YouTube golf, and maybe I don't know if that's going to do much for you as a serious competitive league. So,
which is kind of, I think, maybe the underlying secret of a lot of this stuff is this whole model probably would work better as YouTube golf.
Well, it goes back to Jake Paul.
Out of my mouth. As a business, it's more intriguing.
The Paul brothers were pretty close to that. It turned it into the Internet Invitational, and just we said that years ago, and it's that's probably the way it should go if you really want to maximize value.
Well, that was kind of my thing. So I got to the same stumbling, frustrated spot as you. Is just everybody. Well, it's got, obviously things got to change. I don't know if they do or if they can, because are you saying through that kind of subconsciously well, obviously we need people to care about this. It's yeah, no shit, man. That's kind of been the problem the whole time. That was pretty clear that wasn't going to happen. And so it's very fascinating to me on what are we talking about? How are the two sides far apart here? Because are we just talking about money, in which case Bryson probably is in the most unique, the only unique position really outside of maybe Rom, where it's yeah, Bryson should ask for all the money.
Yeah,
he's the only person there that is moving the needle at all. And so it's just, I don't know, it's fascinating. Randy, I feel like you were saying something on the kind of larger model stuff, but
I had just chimed in. You could convince me that to let Bryson take over the whole business and just follow his instincts, and it might be a more viable business, honestly, as a YouTube golf thing rather than what they're trying to build as a alternate serious professional league.
Yeah. So again, it's how much time do you actually want to spend thinking this way? But all right, so there's the PGA Tour, which is what people watch the most. There's TGL, which gets more viewers than LIV Golf. It's more interest has been shown in that than in LIV Golf. And then you're going down, and LIV Golf is closer to PGA Tour golf in theory of putting on professional events than it is TGL, yet it can't even be as successful as this silly little thing. And where does YouTube fit into that, which is hard to measure because there's not live viewership on there, but a shitload of people are watching Bryson on YouTube, but clearly not following him to watch it at LIV just gives you the picture. That's probably where Bryson's coming from. I'm dude, I'm a hit, man. I'm huge on YouTube, and I can't get people to watch me over here. This has to be somebody else's fault, not mine. And I don't disagree with him. His fault is, going there in the first place.
Yeah, but going there in the first place enabled him to do the YouTube.
It's true.
Stuff.
I was expecting
he's not wrong there. You know what I mean? For him, it's been a good move for sure. It's just, you have the question here, where do you think Bryson plays in 2027? That's when I
Yeah,
don't know how
I truly don't know.
Anybody want to go on the record?
Man,
I mean, safe money's live. I think that's, some of this just feels like posturing to me.
yeah, I don't think it's the PGA Tour. Let me put it that way.
I don't either.
I think it's live or
YouTube.
He's chilling and playing
Just,
majors.
I think the other thing with live is a lot of the schedule stuff is predicated upon like regions or cities or states or countries working over a bunch of tourism dollars to bring in a tournament there, like kind of what South Australia has done with Live Adelaide. And I get the sense that that's kind of drying up a little bit. Like I know they're doing that in Louisiana, but like, all right, the corporate sponsors aren't coming, and
if they are
losing money hand over fist.
It's all
to the
PIF companies.
Crushers, man.
It's all PIF companies.
Well, and also like
and Salesforce
you look
Per
at the
week.
price of oil
per week.
like it's not in the most profitable spot for the kingdom right now.
No,
either.
We've gotten way too comfortable just throwing that B word around for how much money they've spent on that. And I'm done trying to predict the death of Live Golf, but like I feel like they're at the end of this year, they're going to be at a massive crossing point here of deciding whether or not they're going back in with a bunch of these guys, which statement came out from the OWGR recently that there's, the review of Live Golf application is still underway. I'm not going to read all of it. Trevor Ummelman's the chairman of the OWGR governing board. Live changed from 54 holes to 72 holes. OWGR did recently announce that 54-hole events will now receive 75% of OWGR points that 72-hole events were, but that's not to say, Live are not 54 holes anymore, so it doesn't mean Live's getting OWGR points. And we don't need to revisit this conversation every week, but I don't see how Live would come even close to sniffing OWGR points unless OWGR is going through a drastic change in how they measure things. So it's not even that important anymore.
OWGR might need to get with the tour's communications team, tighten this thing up a little bit.
Just give it a "We See You" player. Before we get to our next topic, give a shout out to our friends at High Noon. No matter the forecast, live like the sun's always out with High Noon. High Noon is made with real vodka and real tequila. Unlike other popular seltzer and hard tea brands, it delivers a clean finish, refreshing taste. It's available in vodka seltzer, tequila seltzer, and non-carbonated vodka iced tea, all under 100 calories and with crisp, delicious flavors for every occasion under the sun. We've been absolutely crushing these over the holidays in my household, let me say. What are you waiting for?
What's your flavor of choice right now?
I got watermelon. I always get the 4-pack of watermelon because you can't go wrong with those. And then I'll get the pack that has the kiwi and the raspberry and all those. So
no notes for you there. So
I'd like to see you maybe getting avant-garde 2026, Solly. Start maybe adding some of your own flavors.
I want to mix the lemon and lime. I want to try this. I want to try to mix the lemon and lime.
Yeah,
I think lemon's the most
you to do that.
underrated flavor there is.
I'll trade you then. That's the only one that I'm not totally vibing with. So that's why I'm trying the concoction. I like where you're thinking though. HighNoonSpirits.com to find High Noon near you. High Noon, sun's up. TC, take us to the next topic, which is not as fun as downing a few High Noons.
Yeah. National Links Trust. As Sally mentioned at the top of the show, if you haven't had a chance to listen to our interview or conversation with Mike McCartan, one of the co-founders, along with Will Smith of the National Links Trust from a couple weeks ago, I would highly recommend you do so. Unfortunately, some things have changed since that conversation. Things were kind of in limbo.
Super quickly, the National Links Trust, if you are not familiar, is the organization that is attempting to keep affordable golf in Washington, D.C. through the renovation of 3 golf courses, East Potomac, Langston, and Rock Creek. Rock Creek. I always draw a blank on that one. Hiring Tom Doak, Gil Hance, Bill Welling to do all those. Really one of the coolest stories going on around the country in golf prior to this news is the development there. That's the 60-second synopsis. Sorry.
Yeah. And so East Potomac, it's a island in the middle of the Potomac River. It's got a Walter Travis reversible golf course on it.
It's a fabulous piece of property.
Pretty remarkable. Yeah, Randy, you did your 100-hole hike there, correct?
Yeah. Like you said, you're just kind of out on this. It feels like a peninsula almost, and I'm bad with directions, but like down one side is a river, whatever river that is, and it's cool though because you can see a lot of the big government buildings, and then like going down the stretch of the course, you can see the Washington Monument out in the distance. Like it feels like you're in the middle of our nation's capital, which is very cool.
Yeah. So they've raised a bunch of money and continue to try to raise money to like the Langston was the first domino to fall as far as they broke ground on the renovation for that, and they're operating and managing each of the golf courses and working with the National Park Service to get all of the permitting and planning done for these renovations. In the midst of all this, they received a letter a few months ago saying that they were in violation of their lease agreement and that they're delinquent on it. And
the letter came from the Trump administration, for the record.
Yeah, and then but didn't really tell them why or how to remedy the situation or like what they were in violation of. And then yeah, this past week they got an official letter that said, hey, we are terminating your lease agreement. So all that's to say, it sounds like the president has his eyes on East Potomac as a statement kind of signature project. It's according to reporting in Golf Digest, along with other various outlets, just about he's brought Tom Fazio in to tour the property and for meetings in the Oval Office. And there's just a sense that the president wants to have a Ryder Cup at East Potomac golf links, which, I think just in our talk with Mike McCartan, Mike was like, yeah, like it's going to cost like $200 million to fix the seawall and to raise the level of the golf course at East Potomac to begin with. And I don't know, just somewhat depressing in that like these industry professionals that are responsible for like some of the best, partially responsible for some of the best courses built in the last 20, 30 years, great golf experiences, who are DC locals, natives, are, and like this is a labor of love for them. They're kind of being kicked to the curb here. And like it's just, I don't know, it's just infuriating.
I mean,
and I think it goes beyond politics, right?
Not
it's
even somewhat depressing. This is a fucking disgrace, man. Straight up. Yeah. Like it's a shame. I mean, personally, we've 12, 13 hour, 100-hole hike. Randy, you've done it. We've probably raised $25,000 for National Links Trust. And it's just like and I know how hard those guys work. And I just hate this. It's bad business. And politics aside, there's one thing I know that like I definitely don't agree with Donald Trump. It's like taste. Like Trump Potomac is not going to be the kind of course that I want to play. And that's fine. There's probably a bunch of people that want to play it, but I don't think that's going to be affordable golf. I don't think that's long-term golf. Yeah. So Randy, go ahead. But it fucking pisses me off, man. That's the thing I can say.
Yeah, no, you nailed it there with like, the mechanization of, or whatever the word is to remove this from the National Links Trust. They had designers that we like working on East Potomac, but I don't want it to get lost is the main mission of National Links Trust was like make very good public golf courses that are also affordable for the people in and around Washington, D.C. And listen, Trump may surprise me, but nothing he does is in the name of affordability. And so I think the real losers here are, the people in and around D.C., the kids, the people that could have gotten into golf, could have had access to these places that I am guessing now will be totally shut out.
And it'll be interesting to see what happens with Rock Creek and Langston. Like Langston was one of the original, kind of African-American hotbeds of golf in the country, of like, kind of the epicenter of that, like very historic property. Rock Creek, like it doesn't seem like I'll be fascinated to see if National Links Trust keeps managing and operating those. And like if they wanted to go the legal route and sue and I think the only remedy for them would be money. And they're like, there's no point in having the money
if doing this for money,
if their mission is stripped away from them and they no longer have the golf courses. So
And also, I mean, again, just the next Open Ryder, putting everything else aside, the idea of just having a Ryder Cup at East Potomac, like the next Open Ryder Cup is in 2041. DT would be 95 for that. Also, the 2037 Ryder Cup is scheduled for Congressional in DC, so 2041 is not going to be going to East Potomac.
It's just like, if you wanted to be involved, like, great. It's just, this doesn't make any sense, is the part that makes me mad. You know, it's just like, it's just bad, like, business. There's just so much else going on in the world right now. Why do we need to do this?
I thought he was bringing the tour and live back together. Where are we at with that?
I know, man. It's like, God.
May I propose it makes sense if you wanted to perhaps, I'll say, distract Trump with a vanity project that is right up his alley while other things go on. Like, it makes sense through a certain lens, but it's not one I don't think any of us like, and it doesn't make it, good. But I
don't think it's a political thing either. Like, it's not tethered to like, oh, you're liberal or you're conservative.
No, it really.
You're a golfer. You should be pissed about this if you're a golfer.
I don't think any of this stuff is liberal or conservative.
It's not for me. It's just like, this sucks, man. And maybe it's because like we're friends with the National Interest and we've been supporting him for 6 years, and like we believe in the mission. But like the quote from the Department of the Interior. The Trump administration prides itself on getting the job done for the American people and partnering with others who share that same goal. Like, what?
Nobody asked for this.
Like, what are we, like, why? What are we, these guys have been trying to get the job done. It's like,
they haven't been trying to get to the job done. They have been getting the job done. They've doubled the rounds that have been played there. They doubled the revenue since they've taken over. They've done all of these things, and they just got a fucking sledgehammer just rung through their front room. And that's what
playing by the rules with the bureaucracy and the red tape. This stuff just takes time.
That's what sucks, is like the indiscriminate, just, we're going to make up a reason. These people are not unserious people that are running this organization. Like, they're not forgetting to pay their bills. They're not forgetting to dot their I's and cross their T's. They're doing all of that stuff. And just to make up a reason and take it away from them when they've poured their heart and soul and basically made it their life's work is so fucking dystopian that can happen. I don't know how to say it other than that.
I hope the Foz gets fucking blackballed if he goes for this. Like, that is one person we can shame for this if it goes the way that it's scheduled.
I mean, it's not his fault, but like,
no, but you don't have to do this.
Doing it pro bono. You know what I'm saying?
You don't have to don't be a part of this. Like, kicking Doak and Gill and Bo Welling to the curb. They're basically donating their time.
It's common professional courtesy to not, take on a project when someone else is under contract for that same project,
especially one with a mission like this. Like, just between the, again, if you don't live in DC and this doesn't directly affect you, I understand like this not feeling like that big of a deal, but like DC hit the jackpot in terms of the people they had and the locations they had to be dedicated to making this happen. Right. Yeah. And if it can go away there with like really good stewards in charge of it, like this AI data centers and like just where like the game is headed is just a bad sign for the future of like public, accessible, affordable golf in this country. And it's already not good.
Yeah. I was only going to say there, Solly, is like, yeah, if you don't live in DC, it might not touch you, but there's an off chance this goes really well for National Links Trust in DC. And
exactly.
This same model can be copied in cities all across the country. Like this had a real chance to be a proving ground and something that could be used elsewhere.
By the way, they they've got like a workforce development program that's getting more people trained in like the business of golf and running a golf course and agronomy and all of that. They've got, I think they're going to have like several Evans scholars coming out of their caddy program like this year as well. So like there's like 6 other tentacles that are, related to this too, that are, secondary when looking at just the golf courses themselves, but have just as much of an impact. So,
and that's, I don't know. I'm sure we're retreading the same ground, but it's like that's the point. Like, that's why these places exist. They're not supposed to be premier golf experiences. It's not supposed to be fucking Doonbeg or Turnberry or.
That's not to say you can't make them nicer.
Sure, right?
No, like they were finding that perfect balance of like, hey, we're gonna bring in the best architects in the world while also keeping the affordability and playability and, you know,
I
just
mean, if you want to throw Trump's
locality
name
of
in the flower beds like they have at Doonbeg, sure, just let the
Sure.
NLT plant the flowers, you know? Like,
make it the Wi-Fi password.
yeah,
But
it just sucks, man.
the stuff that stuck out to me from Mike that you guys were talking about in the interview a couple weeks ago, which again, everybody should go. It's probably a more infuriating listen to go check it out now, but it's doubly relevant. Is just like what happens when you start squeezing enough of these places out, and you're just cutting off the pipeline. You know, like
Golf is
where
kinda
did
fucked in the country.
yeah,
The-
all of
in the
these people that
future.
are going to fill up these unbelievable exclusive golf experiences, like where do you think they come from? Man, they gotta start somewhere, and we're just keep cutting off all of the starting points, and it just is
That's
so bleak.
like it's like probably a dumb question here that I haven't thought through, and they don't have power in this situation. But at what point would like where's the USGA in this? Like, this is bad for golf in America. And again, I don't think you can override the American government per se, but like I don't know, man.
I
Just
think the USGA is trying to pick their battles because it sounds like old DT is not happy about the golf ball rollback, and
That's where we need to get
is
involved.
keen to get involved there
Yeah.
and put his thumb on the scale there.
Please.
Seriously,
can we
Please,
just give this
sir.
guy a US Open and keep these golf courses? Is that a fair trade? Like
Oh God.
Right.
All right, let's
Anyways.
move on. I
Okay.
think that it's just
Next
you feel kind of
topic.
helpless. It's like
I'd like to see golf maybe go 4 corners offense on old DT, but I'll leave it at that.
well, I mean, Randy, you're kind of a hypocrite in this. Like you're trying to shrink the game, but then you're also pro National Links Trust. Which one is it, big dog?
this
Great
could be
point.
a top 100 course, Randy. You could
that's true.
You guys are bad and sick people.
that's enough outdoor golf. Neil, where are we going next?
Oh God, talk about growing the game, guys. A little TGL update for you. Okay, I just wanted to tell you the Atlanta Drive, Randy. They beat the New York Golf Club, my New York Golf Club, last Sunday, and then on January 2nd, Boston Commons won their first TGL match ever over the LA Golf Club. It was really, really exciting stuff. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I did not watch, okay, but I did watch the highlights. Rory Keegan and Michael Thorbjornsen. He had a big night as the rookie for Boston
Thorbjornsen did
Commons.
have a coming out party. I'm
He
not
did.
gonna lie.
The highlight package on TGL's website was great.
Randy, he kind of
tasked with this
stole
section.
your if anybody listened to the Trap Draw Goals podcast, Randy was talking about changing up his aesthetic in 2026 as one of his goals, and you floated the idea of a gold chain.
Yeah.
And Thorbjornsen, unfortunately, I think is beating you to that block.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
just maybe
Is he rollerblading
come
though?
up with something else.
On-
And I know
on-
who's got the puka shells. Is that Castillo that has those?
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, I don't know, just neckwear. You might need to get a, I don't know, crystal or a doubloon or something you can put around your neck. But there's a lot of blocks taken.
The LA side, LA's favorite son, Team Rose, Sahith, and little baby Colin teed it up for the LA Golf Club. They came out with smoke and everything. It looked like the place was packed. I mean, it looked, on the highlights, it looked good.
The seat fillers, man.
Rory Keegan and Thorbjornsen got it done. I listen, I am not trying to say I was not able to watch. I got so I'm spread a little thin. I don't know if I can just lock in on TGL right now, but I'm happy that
He's got to get through football season.
my knowers takes are tough. I need the Steelers to get a dub tonight for my
Neil, I know where you're at in life. You absolutely should not be locking in on TGL. I don't think anyone is asking you to lock in on TGL right now.
I'm just trying to speak educated about it, but I don't know. TC and Sal, you guys were down there. You toured the facility, played a few rounds. I did see the stinger hole. Sahith got clipped by the stinger hole.
Everybody
right
was
into the top.
effusive. Like, the socials were a buzz about Stinger, which they were like, more of this, please. This is
Yes.
what TGL needs to be. And same with the cenote hole, right? Like more of that.
Couple
I know,
new
Randy,
holes.
I
Yeah.
know that gets you excited.
Are we ready for my real opinions, or are we
Yes.
still doing the bit?
Well, I just wanted to give you a rundown, but Randy, please take it away.
This is
All
so
the
stupid.
information.
This is so stupid. I can't believe we waste time talking about TGL. I think it's beyond dumb. If you like it, great. I'm not going to tell anybody like don't watch it, don't. But like when it comes to like we're a golf podcast, I just don't think it rises to the level of like we just have guys hitting balls into screen. I hate it, and I'm never going to get into it. And I think it dumbs down the PGA Tour in a way. Like I just don't think we need it. Let guys go away. Let golf go away. Let's pick it back up. Let's have an off season. I couldn't be more out on TGL.
Fuck yeah.
Real grass though, Randy.
Sorry, real grass.
It's real turf.
And
Randy,
I
think I'm I don't know if I'm feeling quite the passion that you're feeling, but I feel similarly, and I think I'm voting with your block. Neil, I was talking to you about it. It's the real Richard Karn, Al Borland tweet. You know, I've what is it, Cody? I sent it to you. It's you know, I've thought long and hard about TGL. I've just decided it's not something I need to do. It's kind of how I feel about it. I tuned in, I watched the first 20 minutes, and Neil, I'm with you. I'm just like, man, I'm a savvy media consumer, you know, in the year 2026. I just don't understand. I can't picture a situation where I would need to watch this live. I think anything that's going to happen is going to be in that 3-minute highlight package, and I think I can catch that later. If I had a 10-year-old son who was super into it, would love to share that with them. I don't have that, and so I'm not going to put myself in like the headspace of a theoretical consumer that I'm not. I'm just, Randy, that's where I'm with you. I'm just like, I don't know. If you're asking me what I think, I don't think I need to participate, but I wish everybody.
That's what we're doing. We don't need to think about it.
I wish everybody the best. I wish everybody involved the best.
We had a good heart-to-heart on the Slack earlier, and it was like, yeah, if this replaced my Miss Rachel time with PD, then I'd be like all for it. So like TC, if like Freddie got really into TGL, I could see myself getting very locked in with my son, but I'm just not there right now. You know, I'm spending time with Miss Rachel instead, you know, and not Boston Common, not Rachel. Atlanta Drive. And that's fine.
Miss Rachel's a lifesaver. I think you guys I'm closer to where you're at than you might think on this. I think if we're like drawing up, if we have a ton of players' time as a resource and a ton of money, like to do something, this is not what I would come up with. Like I don't think it's hurting anything. I don't
either. I agree with you there.
It is
and
not.
I think golf in prime time is good. That's
second
a good thing.
It hurts the PGA Tour, like actually pulls somebody away from an event for some reason. I'm like, let's throw this thing out the fucking window. Like this is so stupid. But
can't wait. And
none of the Atlanta guys were even there.
Lucas Glover.
Yeah. He went through the day of.
But I don't think it's ever going to be appointment television for me, but I will have it on in the background. And I when it's on in the background, like they've done changing the hammer rules to keep the matches close. Like there's usually some pretty good moments at the end. Like they captured a little bit of like what makes a golf tournament interesting at the end. Like I kind of don't know what's going to happen here. I still think there's big problems with the technology. Like the gameplay is not that interesting. TC and I played it. Like the distances are right. Like you hit the shots. It feels really good. But like if they are shaping shots, it's not displayed in the gameplay. Like that dumb aerial view the same way just looks like something out of like a 1994 Super Nintendo game. Like you had to nail that part of the technology.
A lot better this year. I think the green is better this year. But I don't know. I think the thing that's not landing with me is like they end up cutting the entirety of the competition into social clips to the point where like
that might just be 2026. TC,
you can't have 67 highlights from this same match, especially when one of the teams just forgot to use the hammer. Like they forgot that the hammer even existed.
Well, I think that's like this is a maybe good comp or bad comp, but like the Golf Channel games was the same thing where I'm like, I can just pretty quickly do the calculus in my head of like, look, man, I've watched a lot of stuff. This thing's probably going to have 6 to 7 good minutes somewhere in this next 3 hours. And like, I just don't know if I need to put in the 3 hours. Like, it's just,
I will say the Golf Channel games were like one of the upsets of the off season.
Optum.
The Optum
games.
That's the other thing, Randy, is like, it would be fun to get into TGL like as a bit, you know, like TC, your Cleeks thing is designed in a lab. I know it's not a lab, but if it was, it would be a perfect bit because it's perfect. And this is not that. You can't do that same thing when like the roving camera also has an ad on it. You know, like the whole thing is like so sponsored and so optimized and so clean that I'm like, this also isn't a joke. It's like
like Arthur Blank owns one of them.
Yeah, I'm just like, this is I just don't. Everybody who's there, everybody who's playing looks like they're having a great time.
Yeah, the stadium looks
At
fun
the-
too. The in-person stuff
Yeah,
looks
that
fun.
looks great.
Again, I'm not
That helps.
I'm not trying to be a total hater. I'm just like, I can't
I don't know what my role
can't
is.
summon
Neil.
the energy. Yeah, my role right now is just I'm not the target, and that's totally fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that leads to like, who's asking for this? And I don't know if anybody was asking for it. I think it does, like, it was on opposite NFL football, the opening match. It felt like bowling on ESPN. Like, remember when you accidentally land on ESPN during the NFL Sunday? You're like, oh crap, I forgot football's on. Like, it did feel like,
Solly,
oh,
be
shit.
careful here with you getting into darts. You may be, wading into. Oh, darts
true.
is on. Oh shit, darts is on.
That's true.
Here's my thing with why I said it might hurt the PGA Tour, and admittedly it may not. Like, I don't know. I'm going to draw a comparison to TC. So like, we all went to Miami University, Miami of Ohio. They MACtion, right? Midweek college football games are a thing.
Tuesday night,
televised on ESPN, starting in November, maybe mid-October, November. Tuesday, Wednesday night, you can turn on ESPN or ESPN2, and you see two MAC teams playing in an empty stadium with no atmosphere. And I asked myself, why are they doing this, right? Well, these schools need the money that ESPN kicks them for their TV deals, right? But they're not doing it for the students. They're not doing it for the fans, right? Like, it's not a better experience for me as a Miami football fan.
Randy, I would disagree there. I actually thought I enjoyed the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night games more. I thought they got better attendance at those games than they did on the ones on Saturday afternoon when everybody's watching.
No attendance.
Maybe not for alumni.
All right, Randy, where are you going with that point?
But my point is, I believe it cheapens. Like, if I'm just flipping through and I see this, what I think this dumb football game in front of nobody, like, I just automatically associate MAC football at a lower tier than I would the rest of Division I football. And there's some truth to that, whether they're playing on weeknights or not. But my thing is, like, over time, right? If TGL is kind of this sideshow and it's this bit and it's like stupid, and it's like, how many people are going to tune in and see that? And that's their exposure to pro golf. They're not going to go seeking out PGA Tour events, maybe as much as they would otherwise. And I just think it to me, I feel like it just cheapens a little bit pro golf, PGA Tour golf. And I think over time, that's where I talk about, like, it could do some damage just to the brand, to the value of what I really enjoy, the professional golf, the tournaments that matter. So that's my soapbox.
Randy, I think the counterpoint on the MAC stuff is, like, it's either that exposure or no exposure. Like, nobody's watching a MAC game on Wednesday or on Saturday afternoon, other than maybe some of the students, who go there, or the parents or whatever. But I think that like with like the reason that ESPN is kicking off those payments to the MAC for that inventory is because they need inventory, and there's people in bars and sitting in airports, or like, they got to put something up, especially in February, March. Like, you've got college basketball, you've got NBA, you've got NHL, but there's some dead space in there too. And so I think, like, you see it a little bit during the holidays, or like, you'll see it. Like, I remember last year I was out on a ski trip, and it was like Tuesday night and there was nothing on, and we ended up watching TGL from like the Slopeside bar.
It's
like
fun to watch with a group of people. It's hard to watch on your own. Like, the first night we watched it together was like kind of fun. Like,
I think that's fair. That's very fair.
It is.
That way, I think it's kind of
TC. I hear you. I think my counter argument to your counter would be, like, at best, I could meet you at like net neutral. These programs, I just don't see the benefits, right? Like,
I don't know if I see it being additive, but I also don't think it's like detrimental or diluting anything, especially if they're going to take
there
a bunch of tour events off the schedule. Or, I mean, shit, like, I bet we see Brooks play a TGL match before anything else.
If he didn't give a shit about Liv, I
That'd
cannot
be
imagine.
so off his brand. That'd be
He
wild.
lives right down
He-
the
but
street. It's
he
like a
went to
way
one
for him to
last year.
dip his toe back
did.
in.
True.
I bet he will.
True.
I bet he will. That
That's
makes
true.
sense.
They seem
They-
like they were floating that pretty
yeah.
hard on the broadcast.
They did have 2 new holes that are like I don't know why we have normal golf holes in this thing still.
Those
I don't
rules.
know why. Yeah, the new holes are great. Like
Yeah.
watching Sahith hit a 3-degree launch driver and it still hit the overhang, and like Thor Bjornsson hit like a slow 2-iron or 3-iron stinger like without much speed to make sure it didn't rise enough. Like the hole where you drive it past the green and have it roll back, like got to do more fun shit. And I maybe I'm just a video game nerd, but like the gameplay just needs to look enticing. And it's because like Randy, I feel some of the same, like that's not my thesis on it, but sometimes when I'm watching it, I'm like, this is so fucking stupid. And then there's sometimes when I'm like, oh, okay, like this is getting kind of fun. Like this is kind of interesting. So I battle some of those feelings at times, but like near the end, it usually does just get like, I kind of want to see what happens here.
It's also real grass, guys.
It is real grass. That's
Got it. Sully, I was gonna say you could almost convince me getting 2, 3, 4 guys around and putting on like Tiger Woods video game and seeing how they play each other in the video game.
Yes,
would almost be more compelling than watching them do this.
I'm
I
with
that's
you
an
there.
industry that's become much bigger than pro golf. Is that that exact thing?
That's why I think the Barclays Center with that.
Yeah,
that's why I think the gameplay is really important, Randy, because like it is a really cool. It's like playing Wii golf almost, right? But like it just, I don't know, the ball just looks so unnatural still. It's better, but it's still just like not quite there. Anyways, so
I can't emphasize enough how hard it is to putt in there.
TC's so triggered by
there
the
putts
screens.
going. I'm told there were putts going in from everywhere.
Shadows going every which way. It's crazy. It was in my head.
My team has not debuted yet. I'm a little nervous about Jupe Links, but you guys ready to do some prompts? Ready to do some predictions for 2026? Before we do that, I want to give a shout out to a new partner to the show, excited to officially announce Arcos Golf as a new No Laying Up partner for 2026. If you're unfamiliar, Arcos is the official game tracker of the PGA Tour, the #1 game tracking platform in golf. They've tracked over 1 billion shots. We've been using it for about a month now, a little over a month. We're tracking our games, getting some really interesting data on how we actually play, not how we think we play. It's already really eye-opening. A few of the things I really like, after a round of golf that you just played, it will tell you like what you did. I played a great round of golf on New Year's Eve, guys. I drove it like a +4. I had approach play like a +5, short game like a +5, and I putted like an 8 handicap. I lost almost 3 shots to a scratch golfer on the greens
those
alone.
TGL greens.
It was tough, but and it gives you just really, really good insight as to where you're gaining shots, where you're losing shots. It's got all kinds of strategy stuff included in it. And the best part is you don't have to use your phone at all during the round. I do not like using my phone during the round.
That was my big concern.
Yeah, we're using the new link system, which is not out yet, but there'll be more details on that here to come. But like you wear it in your back pocket, and it registers all of your shots other than your putts, really, from tee to green. It's fantastic. It's really fun. It keeps me engaged in a round of golf. We're going to talk a lot more about it. Anything I left out, TC, from the brief overview?
No, I've been using, both the tracker and the rangefinder too. The rangefinder locks on like crazy quick. And just generally speaking, it's I've never been a big statistical tracker. And I think I'm at the point where I'm like, I need to know what I need to get better at. And having objective data to do that is imperative. And the fact that I don't have to camp out on my phone, you can do everything after the fact. Like it'll log everything, and then you'll go in and you'll say, oh, actually I had 2 putts there. Like there's some things you clean up after the round, but it is truly running in the background for you. And their database of golf courses, golf shots is it's like you said, over 1 billion shots and growing every day. It's remarkable.
it also just keeps you engaged in the round, man. If I know the shot's going to be measured and I got to look at like rounds that I've had things go bad, I'm like, nah, this still matters. This still counts for something here. I don't want my data to look horrible. So if you want to check it out, go to arccosgolf.com. That's ARCCOS golf.com. You can use code NLU15 for 15% off. I know a lot of people, you've been DMing me about that. I threw a little screenshot up on my recent video I posted and people are asking about this. But again, arccosgolf.com, NLU15 gets you 15% off. We'll have a lot more to share as the year gets going.
Solly, what'd you shoot on New Year's Eve?
72, 16 greens. I just couldn't get the damn thing in the hole, man. I might need to alert the trackers, guys. I might be back.
Any issues with the heads up putting? Can we blame any of
Yes,
that?
at Tim McQuana, of course, I know really well. The heads up putting was awful, like so bad. I think it's good for like when I see a course for the first time. It's a conclusion. Then you say that out loud. You're like, dude, you might just be a head case.
Right.
Like
That doesn't sound good. Now let me see which way, how cold it is, what's the humidity, whether I decide how I'm going to putt today. I don't
On
like
the reel
this.
you threw up of you doing, you were out at Marsh Landing, you're doing heads up putting, and I think you missed one. It was going the wrong way, and I was like, that wasn't the heads up putting. That was just reading the green.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. It's bad. I've been putting great for the last couple of weeks. It's not good. Well, initially when I got it, said I was like a +6 putter and a horrible ball striker. So it's interesting to watch that stuff go up and down. Anyways, we're going to go through a few prompts here to round out the season, round to tonight's episode, and making some predictions for 2026. I asked you guys to name the 4 men's major winners for 2026 by tournament. That is, of course, the Masters, the PGA, US Open, Open Championship. I'll have you go through all 4. We'll go in clockwise order here as it's on the screen. DJ, who are the 4 men's major winners for this year? Little point system we're going to track if we remember. I almost certainly won't. If you nail the tournament, you get 5 points. If you nail the guy and the winner, you get 5 points. And if you pick a guy to win a major and he wins a different one, you get 2 points for that one.
I don't know how much these points are worth. Feels like it should be
everything's
they're
made
like
up.
true bucks. What can I catch these points?
Nothing matters.
Well, there were no parameters around this, so like my first instinct was just take Scotty for all 4. Feels like the safe play. I didn't do that. I don't think that's good podcasting. But I just TC, a bit like we were talking about before, is like if he does win, I did call that. Like if he wins them all. Yes. I do get credit for that, but that's not what I did for the exercise. So
also was going to say, if you when we do the major previews for these, if you are changing your pick, you have to declare that one dead. Like you can't claim both. Wow. Your points still count, but you can't claim both.
Is there a submission period or something? When do we need to alert your office?
It must be in writing.
Yeah. So you're gonna have to write these down.
We'll talk about it.
All right. So if you declare someone different, the new one,
no. So if you
for the points or the old
if you
one
pick Tommy to win the Masters and then Masters week, you're like, oh, I think Scotty's going to win. You can't be like, I told you Tommy was going to win. You can't have 2 guys going into the tournament. You got to
I see. You got to be all in.
Yeah, you got to be all in on it.
Well, Solly, I think it's real easy. Your most recent prediction is your prediction. So if you choose to switch it up when we get further into the year, like that's the one that counts.
That's Randy's block when he's buying high on Colin and he's selling low.
You got to put your name on something. You got to put a stick in the ground here, guys.
All right, Deej, with that.
We got to do that? Okay. For the Masters, so Scotty's obviously going to win the Masters, but I didn't pick Scotty. I am going to take a guy named Ludwig Oberg, who you may not remember very well, but tends to play very well at the Masters in his limited experience. Hopefully he's healthy. He's back, and he's going to, regain his rightful throne as the prince that is coming for the PGA Tour. What is he, like 34-year-old prince or something at this point, but still, nevertheless, at the PGA Championship, I think I feel really good about this one, and I know it's low-hanging fruit, and I know it's pretty obvious. I think it's gonna be Bryson DeChambeau.
Yeah.
He has finished in the top 4 at the PGA in 4 of the last 5 years, which I think has gone somewhat underrated somehow, because he hasn't actually won one of them. But yeah, I mean, he just beats up these PGA setups. And I just going back to our conversation, I didn't say it earlier, but I just really want to live in a world where a reigning major champion, it's just like, oh no, that guy, he doesn't really like play pro golf. He just like he plays the guy who won the Masters. Yeah, no, I don't know when I guess I don't know when we'll see him. He just whatever he puts on a new video.
Weekly. He's doing the Hickory Challenge. It's coming up this week.
He's gonna play. He's gonna try to break 50 left-handed.
Yeah.
Shot class.
I do. So I love that idea. So I got Ludwig for the Masters. I got Bryson for the PGA. US Open. Will he or won't he? I think he will. Yeah. I think Scotty Scheffler completes the career Grand Slam. It's quite shocking to me that he hasn't won a US Open. He seems built for a US Open more than any of the other hundreds of tournaments that he has won. I mean, he flights it better than anybody else. His distance control is better than anybody else. His mental game is better than anybody else's. It just feels like he very much is going to win one of these. And I don't think the moment's gonna be too big. I think Shinnecock's a good fit. I think he was a shot away from winning a US Open at the Country Club. He was 3 shots away from a playoff at LACC. So, hot take, alert the press. I think Scotty Scheffler is going to win the US Open. And the Open Championship, a lot of directions we could go here. I wanted to go farther off the board, and I wanted to go with something more interesting. And if I knew I could change my pick later, I would have done that, because this doesn't matter. I could have just changed it.
Nothing matters. You can't change it. Who's your pick to win the majors this year?
John Rahm is my pick to win the Open Championship. I think he's going to he's going to regain his throne atop the in Class A of professional golf. And those are my picks.
Randy, you're next.
Okay, I am taking Scotty for the Masters.
Sure.
DJ, I look forward to you not getting any credit for that in a few months. Just to reiterate, folks, Scotty won in 22, Scotty won in 24. I'm banking on an even year performance for him. So nothing more needs explained there. PGA, honestly, DJ, I kind of want to change my pick to Bryson. That's very compelling. But I had Xander winning the PGA. I think it could be a birdie fest, right? A little bit at Aronimink. Seems like low scores. So give me Xander there. The U.S. Open, fishing in the same pond. I think it's a big year for Scotty Scheffler. I think winning a U.S. Open, a grindy U.S. Open at Shinnecock, is a really important jewel in Scotty's in his crown, in his belt, if you will. So I have Scotty Scheffler winning the U.S. Open. And then for the Open Championship, why don't we just run it back at Birkdale, George? I'm taking the Links Master.
Wow.
Yeah.
God, I respect that so much, Randy.
Whoa. Is he in?
I don't know.
He may not be. We might have some work to do.
I think he's a past chap. I'm joking. He is it, but sponsor exemption. TC.
Yeah, I'm going to follow DJ's lead here and go Ludwig for the Masters. I think it's the great man's time. You guys are, I think you're overrating the Bryson ability at these PGA venues that are dog shit PGA venues. I'm looking at you, Valhalla, and where they have the PGA last year.
Don't tell him. Okay.
Yeah, come on, guys. And so
we went.
I think Aronimink is a better course than those, but I still think, like you said, Randy, it's going to be probably a turkey shoot. We'll see what the agronomy is like in Philly at that point.
The mink, as you once glossed it.
Yeah, I think it's like the most, maybe like one of the most overrated golf courses in the U.S. rankings that's out there. I think it's a great club. I think it's a fun golf course to play. There's some cool spots in the corners, but
you just ruined top 100 Randy's chances of ever getting on there.
I was going to say, these are TC's opinions. I am open to an invitation if any member is listening.
Anything you want to say about
it's Philly? Not a real top 100 though, Randy. And Kerry Haig, you've been on notice. This is your last year. All right. If you don't set this thing up properly, you're out. You're out.
TC, who's your pick?
Scotty. I was gonna pick Harris English, but I
wanted to pick Harris
Scotty.
English for something. I just
he's
couldn't
so
get
good, man. He's so good.
Couldn't make it work. Couldn't make the numbers work. It's gotta work for both sides.
Yeah. Next, we're going to Shinnecock, and we're gonna pick Tommy.
Yeah, of course.
Sure. US Open to Shinnecock.
Of course.
And then
we should all get 5 points for predicting that. I feel like.
And then we're going to Birkdale, and I thought about picking Tommy again, but I think it would be more advantageous for me to pick Rory. I think Birkdale suits Rory, and there's a lot of, you gotta drive it well, and you gotta hit, like, there's some pretty decisive long irons and second shots in on that golf course. So
He played well there last time too. I wanted to. I don't know why I didn't pick him. To be honest, I should have.
Well, he did. He backdoored that. Remember, that was the "What are you doing, your Roy fucking McIlroy Open Championship." He started out like shit, and
now he knows that he's Roy McIlroy.
Yeah,
that's true
from the start. So,
Neil.
Yeah, I'm fishing. I'm sure Sally will be fishing some of the similar ponds. I think it's Scotty at the Masters, for all the reasons that have been stated. I've got Xander at the PGA. I think Xander's, he's kind of been sleepwalking, but it just feels like he might become the PGA guy. Just birdie fest, kind of a souped up PGA Tour event.
Potential for a Strap Boys Grand Slam here, 2 for 2.
Yeah, well, so this at Shinny, I was noodling on Russ Henley. He was the first round leader in 2018, but I don't know. It feels a little bit still too big. I'm not giving Russ enough credit.
Are you ready to? Are you selling Russ stock this year?
I was going to talk about that in my section.
Okay.
I'm worried about Russ, but
I
doubted him before
last year. That stock did really good last year.
Really good. It might be time to sell. I think Rory is hunting premier stuff. I think Rory wins at Shinny. I think that's one he's got circled as a couple US Opens have gotten away from Rory. I think he would love to win at a really blue blood place like Shinnecock. So I think Rory gets it done at the US Open this year. And then TC, I think there's going to be a lot of hype around Tommy, co-course record holder 63. Oh my God, this is Tommy's time. I think he's not going to win, and then I think he's going to win the Open.
Wow, thank you. The hometown Open.
Yes, the hometown Open. But I think there's going to be a lot of hype at the U.S. Open, and he's not going to win, and then he's going to win at the Open.
I mean, what a
scene that would be.
Yeah, sign me up for that year.
I will admit, I was pretty close to taking Tommy on a couple of these.
Everybody seems to be coming around.
Great man.
That?
I think I would have gotten pretty upset with you if you would have done that.
But Randy, these are all great men.
Wins them, but this is
these are all great men.
That's true.
Yeah.
Solid.
Who are yours?
I want you to pick the Grand Slam for Scotty. Just pick him for all 4.
Thought about that too.
That might be coming later. But anyways, Scotty's going to win the Masters course. We can move fast on that one. I played with Tommy Fleetwood at Aronimink in 2018. He shot 60 in a practice round. I had Bryson in there, and I'm changing this on the spot because I realized I said Tommy's going to win a major this year, and I didn't pick him to have one. So I'm putting Tommy for the PGA. I think he's going to go get after it there. I am going Scotty at the U.S. Open. I think he'd probably win that one by 6 or 7. And then just got caught. Neil, you picked him to win a major last year, and I kind of laughed at it, and then he was kind of in contention. I forget which one it was, but Matt Fitzpatrick. Matt Fitzpatrick, I think, is going to win the Open Championship next year. Sneaky, been back to being a really, really good player, and I just think he's probably going to win an Open in his time.
I love it. That'd be fun.
Okay. That's mine. Randy, you got the next category.
Yeah, so I tasked you guys. My question is 1 male, 1 female. 2026 is the most important season for whom? And so, Solly, would you like me to kick it off? I think maybe we snake it back to you and go around the horn. You tell me how you'd like to run answers.
I'll go first if you want. My answers are boring, but I have that being Roy McIlroy is the most important year. How did you want this answered? Now that I read it back, it's like
I think it's
who is it the biggest year for?
Like who's got the most to prove? Who like this season is
a lot on the line.
Kind of make or break for whom the most. Am I wording that correctly?
I wouldn't say make or break for Rory, but most to prove because like Rory and Brooks are tied at 5 majors, and I think Rory's chance to get to 6 is way better than Brooks's chance to get to 6. And I think it's important that Rory gets to 6 somewhat quick before it starts piling up again, and he domes himself again for another decade, right? And I'm not, he made some comments afterward about like I'm freed up and these things should come easy now. And I'm like, dude, I don't think that's how it works with major championships. And I didn't pick him to win a major this coming year, but like I think it's an important year for like what we're gonna get out of the remainder. Now that he's accomplished the career Grand Slam, how motivated are you? Which I think is a lot, but like how well are you gonna be able to execute on that? in an era now where somebody is so very clearly better than you. Like you have been like the dude for the majority of your career, and someone is like a lot better than the current version of you. Like, let's see you answer that. I'm really curious if you answer that. I want you to fight. You are not statistically within a shot of Scottie Scheffler on a per round basis right now. Like, close that gap this year. Even if you don't win a major, like close that. Like, let's get you back into like, I'd like to have the discussion at some point this year. Like, is it Rory or Scottie the best? Who's playing better golf right now? As of right now, that feels far away, but I think that's an important year for Rory. So that's my pick.
It's a compelling case.
And on the women's side, it's Nelly, and that's probably a default answer for a lot of people. But after the really strong year she had last year, where it looked like a leap, and falling back this year and not getting a win, and it's important. I think it's important for her to answer the bell this year. You could say Gino as well, like to win the major as well, but Gino just had such an outstanding year that like it I need Nelly to bounce back. That's a boring answer, but that's probably a common one. But it's an important year for her.
I'll pick it up. I'll start with Nelly. I mean, important to me personally on the road to 11. We gotta start getting it done, Nelly. I need it. I need some.
Neil famously set the over/under for Nelly career majors at 11.
After she won her first,
yeah.
Nelly, we're gonna need you to start coming in on
listen,
weekend.
I have some community with you there with the Morikawa.
I gotta have it, Nelly. Okay, we all need it. Thank you. So we'll just leave that there. And then I was toying around with 3 names. I was toying around with Victor Hovland, Xander Schauffele, but I think it's John Rahm for me. And the reason is Rahm has so much fewer opportunities to like. This is his prime, and so he's got to get. I didn't pick him to win a major. He played well last year. I mean, he's top 3 in data golf. I mean, he's still playing really, really good, but he's not doing much for the resume of the past couple years. And it's like, he's got to go, he's got to like, he's got to become Bryson. You know what I mean? Like you got to be a dude. And so I just think because he has he can't win the Tour Championship. Like there's not a lot of resume building for him. He's got to.
I don't think the Tour Championship's doing that much.
No, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like you can't win the player. You can't win the.
Careful,
yeah, careful with that one.
Yeah, seriously,
Your Honor.
I meant by that like he can't win a players. He can't. There's not a lot of stuff he can do to pad his resume. It's not a Ryder Cup year, so it's like he's only got 4 chances to like show us something. I think that makes his what he has to prove. Like I don't know, less opportunities is kind of what I'm going for there.
He could do a breaking 50 with Bryson though, like that. Make that. Then you got 5. So.
But Hovland and Xander for me, the reason I was thinking for them is like, guys, you guys have the talent. Like, are you going to elevate? Or are you going to stay with the Peloton? Or are you going to go with Rory and Scheffler and right now Fleetwood? Like, are you going to make a jump here?
Let me jump in for a sec, Neil, because I had Rahm as well, and I think the only thing to add is it feels like things kind of settled into pretty interesting tiers over the last year, right? Where you have Scottie, really, like you said, Solly is in a tier of his own, but it's Scottie and Rory and really Tommy, like at the end of last year were kind of the guys. They had the 3 really, really good seasons. You have a couple guys kind of hanging out in no man's land, but not really, like Morikawa maybe, but a lot of the other guys kind of bump down into that, like, can't lay JT, Spieth, Max, unfortunately. I'd probably throw Hovland in there where it's like, I'm not really thinking about you guys quite as much. And I don't really know where Rahm is. Like you said, he's playing good enough golf on paper. He's playing spreadsheet golf, right?
Yeah.
That it's like, no, I think you're supposed to be up here, but I can't really say why. And you had a kind of good year at the majors, but I didn't really
cool
think
back
about
9 at Quail Hollow.
Sundays. Yeah, and it's
until he melted down.
Justin Herbert.
I don't know. It's just very interesting, and I'm with you that like I think you said it perfectly. Like the lack of opportunities is like, man, we gotta kind of get it now if we're gonna do it.
So much pressure. Like I feel like he puts a lot of pressure on himself with those, and I think Bryson just like is ready to thrive in those situations, knowing those 4. I don't know. That's wild. TC.
Well, Deej, who was your
Deej, did you have the other side of that?
I did. I think Nelly and Gino kind of spring to mind as pretty, first ballot answers. Randy, let me know if I'm off base with this one, but I was trying to think of like who else would be on that kind of best player without a major list. And Nasa Hataoka came to mind as somebody who is, has a very good resume. He's won 7 times, but is like quite a bit older than Gino, right? I think she's 5 or 6 years older than her, and it's kind of one of those situations where the clock just starts to tick a little louder the older you get in the women's game. And that's where it's like, Gino, yeah, you got to get one, you got to go win a major. It's like, gosh, she's 22 years old also, like that'll come. But for someone like NASA, it does get late a little bit earlier. And she hasn't, I don't think it's at a top 10 in the last 2 years at a major. It's just been a pretty missing person at the majors for somebody who's so accomplished.
Well, the thing I'll add to that, DJ, I think to add a little bit more intrigue is NASA is, like you said, a little older, and that new wave of Japanese talent, she's kind of not really even like the top 3 best Japanese women anymore all of a sudden. So if she wants to kind of keep up with the best of her country women, it's a big year for her for sure.
On the Gino note too, Deej, like level of talent comparatively, but like look like Patty Tavatanakit, who got in and won a major like in her window of being one of the top players and like fell off after that. Like it's not a guarantee that Gino's going to be healthy and one of the top players in the game over the next 3 years from right now. So like her window might be really wide open for a long period of time, but also might not. Like you just never know that. That's why that pressure to get that first one is so massive.
Mr. TC.
All right, lot of directions we could go here. I'm really overwhelmed by this question because you can take it in a very objective manner and say, yeah, Xander, even Ludwig, Spieth, Wyndham, like from a PR perspective, Mickelson with Sable Offshore. I feel like he's got a lot riding on that. Not even golf.
And you probably, right? Your Slack message was prescient. Like Sable has been up
like 150% since I sent that message. Tom Kim, he's at risk of being the forgotten man. Sahith, like Sahith might lose his fucking card at some point soon.
Dude, you know what I did glean from TGL? Sahith doesn't look good. There was a bad shot.
Max, I think I'm buying stock in Max, but it's an important year for him. Max is 35. Yeah. He's not a spring chicken, right? Adrian Dumont, Deschessart, all of those guys.
He was on my list too.
And then Colin Morikawa, I think, needs to stem the tide of like bad PR and just show some glimmer of likability, if not form. But I'll tell you who 2026 is most important for. Sam Flood at NBC Sports. Wow. They need to, because it is make or break time. Because if Roll-Up doesn't like what they've got going on, they're going to get shuffled out and cut out of the mix pretty quickly, I think, in this new world order.
God, that TC. I mean that this is vintage. That was such a good reveal. I mean, that was good television right there. I did not see that coming. I mean, listen, like you crossed the spectrum of golfers, and then you went with a TV producer.
Yeah, whipping across 8 lanes of traffic,
and you landed the plane. You made the exit.
I think Sam. I don't think it's all Sam's fault that the telecasts haven't been good and CBS has totally lapped them. I think it's a matter of resources and larger corporate strategy at NBC Comcast. But man, like it's just the product has to get better. And I think there's a group of people in place at the tour now with Roll-Up and like they've got this new guy coming in from the NFL from MLB, Chris Marinak, I think. Like people who actually understand what the product actually is, and they will figure it out real quick of like, all right, like we gotta fix this. This is part of it. It seems like that's what Craig Kessler is figuring out very quickly at the LPGA Tour of like, hey, we're gonna fix our product first and foremost, and then we can get more people in the boat once we have a good product to sell them and get them hooked on. So, your ass is in the jackpot right now, bud. Step it up.
It's so funny. Like,
and on the LPGA side, TC.
Oh, even more directions.
Same.
Yeah, no, I mean, LPGA side, like you guys nailed it with Gino and Nelly. I had 3, and I don't think Rose rises to this level yet because I think this is like this is a big year for her, but I don't think it's like a a decisive year for her. It's either Lynn Grant. She turns 27 this year, and I've predicted massive success for her, and it's just not happening.
Majors.
Or Charlie Hull.
Yeah.
If it's starting to get late early for Charlie if she can't cash in one of these opportunities. So I'll go with Lynn though. I think Lynn is like, we got to see. She had the one win this past year, but I'd like to see multi wins or a major.
Love it. I love watching her play golf.
Yeah.
And it's a big spot as well. Like I think for team golf this year, there's a big spot for like Max. Like Max has to play well this year to get on that President's Cup team. I think that's essential for him to get back on the Ryder Cup team for Ireland. I think like with Lynn needs to play well, go into that Solheim Cup in Amsterdam with some momentum and carry that European team forward.
Netherlands. It's not in Amsterdam. I wish it was in Amsterdam.
Well, I think they're like
outside.
It's outside of Amsterdam, but I think everybody's going to stay in Amsterdam
Like
and
the
like
call.
train out.
Exactly.
Good shit there, TC.
I need to get a
for your
blinker,
time.
Cody. We might need to get a blinker for TC if he starts really going. Just hit the blinker and he can.
I mean, that was good stuff, though. I mean,
No, I know.
Yeah,
It
no,
was.
it's great.
Guys,
It
I'm going to
was.
pick my spots this year, but you're still going to get some of those spots. All right.
that was a good vintage.
Well, let me make the case for Gino because you guys have mentioned her. I think, yes, it is important for her to win that first major. I think it's a breakthrough, but I also think that breakthrough could really knock down the flood walls for her. What she's done the last 2 seasons as an age 21 and 22-year-old on the LPGA Tour, 37 starts, 26 top 10s, 5 wins on the LPGA, a few more worldwide. Player of the year this year, VAR trophy winner, low scoring average this year. I think the opportunity for Gino is to start hunting like generational greats, right? Is she the next Lorena Ochoa, for instance? Can her best 5-year span be counted among the truly all-time greats? I think Annika is like in a class really all by herself. Like you go back and look at her win totals and top 10s, and it's like, holy shit, man.
There's an asterisk there too,
but I think Gino has a chance to, like, if she wins 5-6 times, wins a major or 2 this year, then all of a sudden, like the next 3-4 years, you can start dreaming of like, no, she's it for like this generation that we're in right now on the LPGA Tour. So I think it's a very, very interesting year for her and an important year for her.
I feel like you're trying to sell
quick.
Neil a timeshare right now. It's like, oh, I didn't realize there was this much promise. Okay.
I got to throw a
Sure,
flag
is
real
it,
quick.
is it 11
Yeah,
and a half?
please.
Is it 12 and a half?
You're talking about hunting down generational, like the best players in the history of the game. He hasn't won a fucking major yet.
I know.
He's
But
put his
she's
name on it.
22. And
She's been a pro for like 5 years though, too.
in a really
22
good
isn't
one.
20,
I think
22 in
that's
the
my
women's game
point.
isn't 22 in the men's game.
No, but you go back and look at, like somebody like Annika. She wasn't doing anything at 22 on the LPGA Tour.
Fair.
I don't know the age when Lorena really broke out, and she burned bright, but very quickly. My whole point is, I like what we've seen from Gino could just be the prelude to another level. And if she gets to that other level, that's when we're really starting to talk about like, holy shit, like this is one of the all-time greats. And to get there, we need a big 2026. So I'm not arguing like, yes, she hasn't won a major. I'm just getting excited about like, if we are going to go up to that like generational level, I think 2026 is big.
I think the other thing to consider there is when you look at her Wikipedia page and her just where the yellow is. She missed the cut at the U.S. Women's Open last year at Erin Hills, which should have been a great fit for her. She's T30 at the Women's British. She's missed 2 out of the last 3 cuts at the Women's Open at the U.S. Women's Open. She's stacked up top 10s at the Evian, and
Which slaps?
That's like she's got like the Evian. It's moving, and we'll get there later in the show. But I just think that there's a little bit of cotton candy there with some of her major finishes.
I think we're actually like in agreement there. I think that also feeds into why 2026 is important for her. I don't disagree with that at all, TC. I guess I'm more trying to make the case of if she is going to be generational, I think this could be a huge springboard year for her.
Yeah. On the men's side, Randy.
I had a runner-up, Tommy. I'm so curious to see what he does after getting that monkey off his back on the PGA Tour last year, having a fantastic Ryder Cup. But I didn't pick him as my guy. I think Ludwig for the reasons mentioned. I come back to Spieth and I'm like, you're 32 years old. Is it really going to end like this? Is it all over? Are you? Is there a second act in the drama?
You can ask him that in February.
I just can't imagine. Like, you're just not going to be a dude at all ever again. It makes me sad if that's the case. And so, man, come on, Jordan. Let's give me something to believe in. I think 2026 is big. Let's get back on the track and show me that you're like a top 10 golfer in the world.
God,
I don't think anything would make me happier.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know if I thought about Jordan ahead of this episode. I hate that.
Which sucks, right? Because he's not like 45. He's so young.
I had to go back through my DMs, but the Connor Belcastro, a friend of ours who plays pro golf at Sea Island. I hope he doesn't mind me airing this out, but we was talking about Spieth, and I sent him this Golf Week link. The headline, I don't know if you guys remember this was a couple weeks ago, that Jordan Spieth is pursuing, quote, the structural integrity of my swing, end quote. And Connor just said, I think I've said those exact words before playing some of the worst golf of my whole life. That really hit me. Of just like, man, I got so pumped to see that quote, Jordan Spieth pursuing the structural integrity of my swing. I'm like, hell yeah. Then I'm like, oh wait, God, oh God, what are we about to do right now? Yeah, no idea.
That much sweeter when he bounces back.
That's right.
That's the hope.
All right. My prop: pick someone currently inside the top 10 in data golf, the data golf rankings that will fall the farthest this year. The current top 10, gentlemen, is Scotty Scheffler, Tommy Fleetwood. This is in order: John Rahm, Rory McIlroy, Ben Griffin, Russell Henley, Xander Schauffele, JJ Spawn, Bryson DeChambeau, and number 10 is Matt Fitzpatrick, which looks very different than it did in January of 2025. But who place your bets? We'll start. Randy, let's start with you. We'll go you to TC.
Okay. I feel like this is the safest pick, which makes me a little like, I'm sorry to take this off the board, but
Tommy,
I think it's Ben Griffin. Like, I just
really? Not what I thought you were gonna say.
So
well, I
been
think
like clearly the second best player in the world for the last 6 months straight.
That's right, and ranks very high in the Great Man Index. I just
Also,
think
the
Ben Griffin
doesn't mean anything.
Call it his first breakout. I'm worried. Like, I know it's not like a sophomore slump per se. There's just, I don't think there's much room to go up. If this is a stock, I think he's hitting his head on the ceiling. So the only way he can go is down. And so, like, of these other names, maybe a Russ Henley, maybe a JJ Spawn, but like, I feel like I'm just kind of making the safe bet here with Ben Griffin.
okay,
TC.
I hate to do it just because I love his game, and he had a great year even beyond his win last year. Like, he played awesome in the summer. But I think Russ Henley. I just think like the odds are stacked against him from a course setup perspective, from an age perspective, from just a lot of things. And he's been doing it at a high level for so long. And I think he falls, but I don't think he falls precipitously. I think he just falls into that, top 30 bucket instead of top 10 bucket, and then arrests that, and then probably stays there or improves once again. But like, just seeing how well he played last year and the fact that he's at 6th just leads me to believe, like, all right, if he goes through a little bit of a slump, like, he's gonna fall pretty far. I don't think he's got the floor, like the distance floor, to keep it from,
I wonder, TC, with guys like him, if there's going to be any kind of like chasing distance wild card in the next couple of years, depending on how things start to feel with the rollback stuff.
Yeah.
If like are guys like him that are markedly shorter, than the rest of their peers gonna use the next 2 years at all? Like, he's got all the job security in the world, right? From a great year last year. Do any of those guys use the next 2 years to try to gird themselves against any kind of rollback and add distance? And that road is obviously littered with all kinds of
but if you're not doing it, you're losing ground. Like, everybody's doing it. Like, everybody's getting faster. So
just saying, for someone like that that's starting at such a disadvantage already, it's
have
just
to.
It's another interesting wrinkle.
Deej, who you got?
I will go where I thought Randy was going to go, and I'll try to make the case, and I think that's JJ Spawn. I hate to do it to him. I had a genuinely good time watching him last year. Thought he had a great year. Even TC, I thought that's where you were going too. A great year outside of his win. Played well and hung around and had a good summer even after winning the U.S. Open. But to throw a little math on it, he was a plus 1.6 player this year. That's twice as good as his previous best. So if we're looking for outliers, if he falls back to that previous best, even that puts him down in like the low 40s on tour, near kind of the Rico Hoey's and Garrick Higos.
I think you could probably split the difference.
So and even if you do, that's probably a pretty solid season, but it would be a fall from where he is. And Randy, the only thing I'd throw at you is just JJ Spawn's 35 and Ben Griffin's 28, 29, something like that. So it's that's why I'm voting with that. It's no offense to JJ Spawn, but that's where I'm placing my chips.
I was looking at Spawn and Henley.
Yeah, I'll follow you right there. And like the Griffin argument, like Griffin added speed last year, and that was in line with his rise. Like, it was pretty much the same exact time when he started hitting 180 ball speed, he started winning on the PGA Tour. So I'll buy up. I'll continue to hoover up Griffin stock. And Spawn, I like the guy. I'm really, really, really impressed with what he's done. I don't think he's going to fall off. I just think he's going to be like a low ones player compared to that 1.6 you mentioned there, Deej, which is still like tough to be a shot per round better on average than the PGA Tour average. Like, it's really hard, especially when you don't hit it far. But I think he's the most likely guy to fall from there.
How about if you're Scotty and you're more than twice as good as that?
That's pretty wild. Spawn is like 62nd in driving. Like, he seemed like he'd be shorter, but can you imagine averaging 306 yards off the tee and being in 61 guys hitting it farther than you?
I had Spawn as well, but Bryson's trend is so stinky. You can see it on this graphic. I mean, I think he might be again. He's working on some stuff in the lab. As he
manufacturing.
Told us.
Yeah, none of the breaking stuff is accounted in these numbers.
That's right. But Spawn, just with the age stuff, and I gotta feel like he's thrilled. I was thinking Russ too, but Russ is, I don't know. He's proven that there's a floor on how far. I don't think he's gonna fall off the map. Now, I did want to ask you guys, how many of these guys are in the top 10 right now? Were there in January of 25? So last year at this time.
Oh, you put the list back up, Cody?
Like 5, half, maybe 4.
Yeah, I'll say 6.
Yeah, I was just getting to 6.
5. You guys were correct with 5. So
Scotty, yes.
Scotty, Fleetwood was 10. Rahm was 2.
Yes.
Rory was 4. He didn't move. Xander was 3.
Bryson, no?
Bryson was not in the top 10.
Whoa.
Oh, no, he was. He was 9. That's the 5th.
Okay.
Sorry. So the top 10 in January of 2025 was descending order. Number 10, Fleetwood. Number 9, Sungjae. Number 8, Ludwig. Number 7, Hatton. 6, Hideki. 5, Morikawa. 4, Rory. 3, Xander. 2, Rahm. 1, Scotty.
So that's 6.
Of those guys, who fell the farthest out of the, basically this exercise, if we did it last year, who fell the farthest?
Sungjae?
That's correct.
I'm still shook from
Sungjae had such a bad year.
111 in
we did the
golf
Jeopardy
right now.
episode.
Yeah.
I haven't stopped thinking about that since.
No, what did I say? He was
crazy.
he was second to last or something in strokes gained approach. It's just a horrid year with the irons.
And then Hatton fell to 32. Let's see. Morikawa fell to 27 from 5. Hideki from 6 to 18. And then for the current top 10, Matt Fitzpatrick started at 48, and he's down into the top 10. So he's the He's made the biggest drop. Ben Griffin was 41. Oh, sorry. JJ Spawn was
Spawn was the
77.
biggest drop.
Spawn
Yeah,
was the biggest
yeah.
drop. And
Rise,
then,
I should say. Yeah.
Rise. So that was found that interesting. Current notable ranking: Spieth is 46. Randy, in the Data Golf rankings right now. JT 22. Max is 99th, and Team Rose is 37th. That was higher than I thought it would be. But also makes sense.
Anybody that you guys are like think is gonna just outside of that is gonna like what are we doing with Hovland this year?
I have no idea,
I
man.
don't need-
I'm deferring to the second half on that one, TC. I just no clue. No, like not even a
Remember when he
guess.
just pulled the Valspar out of his ass last year?
He didn't even know
Yeah.
how.
Like
Yeah, he-
bird boxed it. Like, I don't know. I'm just gonna find my way. You know,
what do you think
blindfolded.
he's gonna do?
I have no idea. It's the same thing. I think like yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. I kind of think he might surprise us and
I hope so.
you
Yeah, I
know,
hope
come
so.
in like with some sanity. I think the guy that I think is going to fall off the cliff, just watching his swing up close at the Tour Championship, it just doesn't seem like it's trending in the right direction. Is Cantlay, and I can't see him aging all that well,
Yeah,
body wise either.
Yeah.
Back is tough.
And yeah, like the recent, I think it's trending downwards quite a bit. And yeah, of course, he withdrew from the
Of course.
TGL opening night. You know.
Take us to your game, TC.
Yeah. All right. So what do you guys like? I love thinking about just the major season at large of where are we
Season of
going?
Championships.
where are we going? You know, how many of these what we've got the both the US Women's Open, US Open, both the Open Championships, and then the KPMG Women's PGA and the PGA Championship moving around. So you've got 6 tournaments that move around, but you have the Chevron moving to Memorial Park, so new venue for that, and then you've got the stalwart venues of Evian.
You don't know the name of the course.
And Augusta National, right? So I guess, yeah, like let me just lead the group in this discussion of here's where I'm at, and you you throw flags if so we'll go 1 to 4. 1 is circled above and beyond, like this is the supreme level. 2 is banger, above average this year for majors generally, not just for that major. 3 is it's fine or I'm cautiously optimistic, and 4 is legitimately concerned that this might stink or that we're headed somewhere that we don't like. Okay. So number 1, I am going to Augusta. I think Augusta is going to be a banger again. Like I think it's just
Could it not?
last year was awesome. It's
Honestly,
it feels like everybody's
you could have given that a 4, and I wouldn't have been surprised either. Like you're just an artist with this. Like I could have gone anywhere with that.
I think the other number 1s I think are the US Women's Open at Riviera.
Yeah.
I'm fascinated to see the ladies play that place in
Totally.
prime time, in a different time of the year than we typically see Riviera. Like I remember a few years ago when they had the USAM there in August, and seeing it dried out and firmer and tighter it was great. And I think that's just a cool test for the ladies as well. I'm fascinated to see how they set it up. So I think that's the other 4. And I think that's
only
it for
2?
4s. Those are the only 2 right
number
now.
I had
Number
one more.
ones, not
Right.
4s.
Oh, 1.
Yeah,
Sorry,
sorry,
1s.
sorry, yeah.
1s. Yes. Yeah. You got one
I
more?
had him. I
yeah.
would throw Shinny in there. Shinny
That's what I had.
is one
I
of
love
my
Shinnecock.
favorite U.S. Open venues.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
I had it kind of right between 1 and 2. Like it's
Randy, I won't let you give it a 1 with your approach with this version of the USGA and how they set up golf courses. Like you're setting yourself up to be disappointed. Like it's going to be above
It's one
average.
of the only hopes
but,
we have left.
Yeah.
but they're
no
not
fun.
they're not going to lose the golf course. You're the dreaming of 2018 and 04. That's not going to happen. So you got to take that down a peg.
Class reunion though, you get to go back, relive some of the good memories. Spencer
right.
Levine.
I just don't
Phil
want to see you
knocking
get
the
hurt.
ball around. I mean, it's just
I've
great.
seen you get hurt too many times, and I don't want to see you get hurt.
I love it.
Yeah.
Our guy
Wind
Stanford
blows,
White
though.
doing the clubhouse. We watch for that in a future episode. It's
Did you have another one or just that one?
no, I had Shinnecock as well.
Okay.
Those are my
Okay.
3: Masters, Shinnecock, and Riviera.
Solly?
I would say Riviera and the Masters are my top tier.
Neil?
No argument.
Okay. So 2, I had
we get to the
Shinnecock.
baggers.
Yeah, I had Shinnecock. I had the AIG Women's Open at Royal Lytham. I think he's gonna that course rules. I think it's such a cool major championship venue.
Great
It's thinking man's golf course and thinking women's golf course, and cool test for the ladies.
You guys, I was gonna say, you guys have seen it. Saul, you got. I remember last fall or whenever you got me really excited in that it might even be a venue that like really sets up even better for the women's game. It sounds like so.
I think so. There's 252 bunkers or something like that on that golf course, and they play a lot bigger than like the whole exercise is avoiding these bunkers, and it's quaint and it's twisting. Like the final stretch is like no matter which direction the wind blows, it's awkward for at least part of it. And we saw with Adam Scott just completely melt down in that section, and it's just my only concern, I guess, is I don't. The women are so accurate. I don't know how big those bunkers and how much in the line of play they're going to actually be. And that's a small concern, though, because if the wind blows even a little bit, it's just a chess match kind of golf course that is right up a lot of our alleys.
Yeah, it sounds great.
Heck yeah. Yeah, so I got that. I had the US Open at Shinnecock in that same thing of like, this is above average. It's awesome. Like, it's not generational. We get to see it. It's on the Rota. But excited. And then listen, I've got, just because I'm excited about it, I've got Birkdale too. I think Birkdale is awesome. And then I've got Chevron.
Yes. Okay, there we go.
It slaps.
There we go.
Play
I was gonna say,
slaps.
All right.
yeah.
All right.
And
I gotta
it's solid. It's because
overseed though.
I don't. Yeah, even then, it's just it's
overseed
Tom
though.
Doe.
Come on, like you're the
I need that on my-
overseed guy. You can't have.
I need that on my
liberated
soundboard.
from the blowers.
Overseed though.
Yeah, you got to add that to the soundboard.
Again, I don't want to see you guys get hurt, man. You hate overseed. I think it's a better venue than
Augusta's overseed, Solly. What do you say to that?
Fair point. Fair point. A little different maintenance program they have there, I think, but it's better. It's definitely better. But I think it's cautiously optimistic.
Next year? Probably not. Hope maybe it's a 3 next year where it's fine, or I'm cautiously optimistic. But for this year, it's something different. We've been begging for it.
Sure.
For the last however long, and
again, way better than Carlton Woods doesn't, for me, rise to the level of 2. I'm cautiously optimistic. It's going to be a better venue for sure.
Totally
Again, I just don't want you to get hurt about the overseed.
And are you guys with me on Birkdale? I think Birkdale's just it tests like every club in your bag, and I think it's a good Open Championship venue.
Can I be totally honest with you guys? Full vulnerability corner here. I have never been to that part of the world, and Birkdale and Lytham still are. I remember the Opens a little bit, but they still feel very blind to me. Randy, someone else in the class usually feels the same way.
I remember Jordan and his drop, but I don't. Yeah, Deej, I'm like, I don't really know these golf courses at all.
So I'm a non-voting member on this one.
Open.
Yeah,
I do always enjoy it, right?
That said, I put
the
it
Open is at 2, regardless of regardless
I
of
think
where
that's
it's at.
it.
I put them both in there,
fair.
but I can't really explain why.
I can
What
go
I'm
either
saying.
way with it. If it's an above average major, because I love the Open. I don't think it's an above average Open venue. Like it's a totally there's no bad ones. That's always the conversation around the Open venues. But I think like True and Birkdale back to back is, I guess that's not. Sorry, we were Portrush this year.
Portrush, yeah.
Birkdale's good. It's like close to average for me of Open Rota venues. Like not above average Open Rota venue for me. So.
Okay, so that's a 3 for you then.
I think so. Okay. I'm optimistic. Like it's still going to be a very good tournament.
I'm really interested to see what you did with tier 3 here and
tier
tier
3.
4.
I only have one
Okay.
course, or one tournament.
Can I guess? Oh, Oh, really?
Wow.
I'm leaning into the Evian. I think it's
Go to a
given
year
us
of rejoicing.
absolute chaos the last few years. We know what it is. It's fine. Or I'm cautiously optimistic. And I kind of like that it puts the ladies on their back feet, and there's just some weird lies and shots and cool finish and all of that. It's been unexpectedly good the last couple of years, and I'm going to ride with that.
I love that, TC, and I'm totally there with you in like doing a 180 on Evian. I think it's
still in the 4 category.
No. I think it's a 3 for me too. I was going to say, of all the women's major venues, in this specific instance only, it's like Augusta in that there are eagles to be made down the stretch, and you make a mistake and there's a bogey. Like there are wide variances of scores down the stretch, so you're never like truly out of it, which I think is exciting. And I think part of why Evian has had such a low opinion in our minds is NBC, that broadcast freaking sucks. If it was like a really good broadcast at that course, I think that place would pop. So yeah,
good takes, Randy.
All right,
I think you should.
Anything else you guys would put in? Or let me just reveal my 4, and then we can.
Well, I think there's only 2 left, right?
Yeah, I mean it's the PGA Championship,
Hazeltine and the Mink.
Because I think if they get rain, or like, I think if it rains a bunch, or like, I don't think they can stretch that place far enough out. I think there's some really, really middling, mediocre holes in the front end or middle of that round, and I just don't. It's just not doing a whole lot for me. And I like having a major in Philly. I think Philly's one of the best golf cities in the world. I just don't know if this is the course that
I was going to throw this one into 3. Cautiously optimistic, because I feel like you're with the crowds and stuff. I mean, I think you're in for like a good finish. Birdie fest. You know, like Valhalla was exciting at the end. I know it wasn't like, shot making.
It wasn't exciting at all.
No, at the end, I'm saying, just like the Sunday back 9 at a major.
Xander was standing in a bunker that was at grade. It was at the same grade.
Wow, just with all the Bryson stuff, I thought it was exciting. I mean, Scotty got arrested. That was cool.
I'm with you. I put Hayes
the overseed though.
And then all right. I would be fine with moving the PGA to Ronimink up to 3. I think anything at Hazeltine these days is a fucking abomination. Especially the fact that the PGA of America isn't letting them redo the golf course
until after the Ryder Cup. I think you're on fine ground to say legitimate concerns with the Ronimink. I think that's. I don't think you're saying that it's gonna stink. I think it's like, hey, caution flag here, because I think you also got to view everything for 2026 for the PGA of America through the lens of what we just experienced for 2025, and say like, hey, I don't have faith that you're gonna nail this setup. I really, really don't. So I'm kind of with
in
you
the
here.
weather stuff too. But at least I guess where I'm optimistic, at least it's a course I haven't seen since 2018.
Yeah.
It's not like I like that.
I just don't. There's just not enough length on the. I don't know why they went here before a rollback. I don't, but we'll see. I have the same concerns, TC. I really do. So
I mean, even when they announced it, I remember thinking, "Holy shit, they're going to tear that place up in 5 years, 6 years."
I thought they were going to redo it again before then. When we played it in 2018, it was like, oh, this is kind of short.
Yeah.
So.
I think good.
Neil's got Keegan won.
It's a good list.
Overall, a good list, TC. I feel like I can quibble with 1 or 2 slight, but yeah, that's a good list.
I kind of might need you to do this for the whole like PGA Tour schedule. This is kind of electric. Yeah, I like that.
All right, so we finish it out.
Yeah.
I put the last one on here. Just pivoting to the personal golf a little bit. I just kind of wanted to name some names. We did our personal golf goals kind of as part of the Trap Draw Goals podcast. Go listen to that if you're interested. Everybody had a lot of very specific goals. I just wanted to ask, who do you want to beat in a match this year? I was thinking about it. Everybody always says Poosh. I'm sure he's going to be on some lists. That's
Poosh
always
like
a fun
5
one.
handicap now.
It's not really sporting anymore.
It's not sporting to beat up on Poosh anymore. So Randy, I'll start with you. Just who's on your big board? Who do you got circled up on the cork board at your office?
Well, Poosh, of course, is always up there, and the other one that's always up there for me is my brother-in-law, Goodbar. But I was trying to think of a new name, and candidly, I'm not sure I'm going to get an opportunity to play this person. But our good friend Lane Sharks, I think would be
such
very
a tough out.
Enjoyable to beat in a match. But yeah, as TC says, he's got those rat tendencies and would be a very tough
Randy,
out.
at least I thought he had those rat tendencies. I invited him to my member guest down here in Florida. He played awful, truly abysmal. So
2 rats don't make a right, apparently.
That's right. That's a good one. That's a good nomination. TC.
I've got 2. I've got 1 from each side of the ball. I want to beat Tommy Fleetwood left-handed this year.
That's good.
Tommy, hit me
He
up.
has to play left-handed too, or he's
Yeah,
gonna play
we're both playing
right-handed?
left-handed.
I hope your other one is the answer that I'm hoping. I really do. I don't think it is.
I don't think it is. Solid. I want to play you at Lytham.
Okay.
I want to get you in the Galaxy Brain Thunderdome strategy. Like, I think that would be a really good match.
I'm down for that. I wanted you to say you want to be a guest on Riggs's Hater series because I still think
I've thought about that before. Like, yeah, there does need to be a Riggs TC match. Or if I pick the left-handed sticks back up, I think I can beat Riggs left-handed. He's playing right-handed. I'm playing left-handed.
There it is. I'll go next. I want to beat Ben. I got to beat him. He has destroyed me when we've gone head to head. And I would like to. I'm starting to feel a little confidence come back. I'm starting to feel like a path back to being a decent golfer. I think consistency is going to be my calling card, but I think I could beat him, and I would like to do that.
I think it's going to be really interesting to. You might need to get a third-party tournament committee involved there. I don't know what the venue is going to be. Bermuda Ben was not into the Frisco stuff and chipping, and he couldn't quite solve that. I think you might have his number there, but if we take you, like, I don't know. You don't want to get something too similar to his home setup. You got to kind of be a.
I would say it's like the Ryder Cup,
setup.
too much home field advantage, but then the Keegan thing happened. So
that's true. Yeah, TGL again. That could be another good SoFi Center idea. Neil, who do you got?
Versus Bennett Shinnecock.
Well, I challenged TC to the 2026 match. So I kind of have
year-long match.
If people didn't hear that one, what was that?
Basically, I just want to play a running match for the entire year.
Arcos to help us track
that. Every time TC and I are on site together, we could be in different groups, but if we're playing the same course the same day. But we'll just play a match for the whole year. So it could be just a running match. So it's not like we, in 18-hole increments. It's just, and we don't know how long the match is going to be. I don't know how many times I'm going to play with you.
I didn't hear no bell situation.
Yeah.
Just keep going. Keep going.
So does someone want to run out the clock if they're way up? I don't think that would be sporting, but I'm looking forward to that. Solly, I'd love to get a match, but we didn't play hardly any golf last year.
I know.
I always love going to battle against you. So I'll say you two.
That's great.
With strokes or without?
I mean, probably with, but maybe not. I don't know.
If you get a thrill out of that, that's great. That's fun. We can totally do that.
I mean, what are you, like a plus one?
I'm a 0.1 right now.
All right.
Neil, kick his ass, Neil. Come on.
Yeah, come on, Neil. Kick his ass. Yeah,
I'm headed. I'll confidently say I'm headed towards plus though. I'm going there. I think
found it.
Yeah, found it.
That overseed though. Watch out. Get him on that overseed.
I love my overseed.
You guys should go do it at Memorial Park.
Oh, that'd be sick.
That'd be good. Play slots.
On the overseed.
Got to be during the overseed period. Deej?
I'll shout out our good friend AJ Ellis, my nemesis here in Milwaukee, and he's just completely a bit of a Rory Scotty situation. It was really fun at first, and then he just completely left me in the dust to the point that we kind of would get to the sixth hole, and it's like, oh, this one's a blowout too, right? Like we're not even, are we really even playing a match anymore? And so I need to reassert myself and kind of get back in his atmosphere and take him down. That would be meaningful to me. So we'll make that happen at some point this year, hopefully.
All right. Last call. This has got to be quick. We got to get through this quick. Just make the call and drop the mic. Just one big gut call. This is in the year of the gut. This could be absolutely anything, but I need a gut call. I'm going to start with Randy. Randy, you look ready with one big gut call.
Well, it's a bit contradictory, but I gave serious thought, and I think it's really in play that Scotty could have a look at Tiger Slam, Scotty Slam at Shinnecock, and I think he could do it.
I'll just go. I'll follow that. I think it is non-zero chance Scotty wins the Grand Slam. I didn't pick him to win all four, but
non-zero
I think this is. I
you
think
you want to dial it in a little bit.
I like that asteroid.
I think we're gonna do. Will Scotty win the Grand Slam at some point this year? I think that's the gut call.
I know that's gonna happen. That's
I just did it.
God, I had three, and I didn't know which door I was gonna open here, so I just was gonna go follow my heart. I'm gonna go with option 3. Andrew Novak wins a signature event on the PGA Tour this year.
Okay. That fits the category for sure.
Get him to
Get him on the
Medina.
team. Get him to Medina. Or playoff event, signature event, or a playoff event.
That counts. Okay. Neil.
I think Max gets back involved. I think Max Homa gets back in the mix this year. I think a man that's come back.
There. Is he gonna win one?
Yeah. That's what I said. You're right. You're right. Well, I was kind of tossing around a kombucha take, like there's gonna be a big scandal on the PGA Tour, like some kind of
thought about that
situation. But I was like, nah, it's actually shaping up to be a pretty
capitalist situation.
Yeah, I thought there was gonna be a situation. I was like, I don't want to put my name on that. That's putting bad stuff into the world.
I don't root for that.
Yeah, I think Max, he's not gonna win a major, but Max wins a tournament this year for sure. That's a bad take, but whatever.
Bulletin board for a guy there.
I love it. Yeah.
TC, I am nervous.
I'm nervous too. I don't really know. I was gonna say something about the schedule, like the 2027 schedule being released, and we all kind of dig it. I think Phil Mickelson contends at a major.
Dude,
that's a goal. That's a bold call. That fits.
Good.
That fits the category.
Contends.
I thought you might say your
like
international team wins the president.
Contends like he's in like one of the final groups on Saturday and Sunday.
Wow. Phil notches like
and TC, it's at Shinnecock. Come on.
Oh,
how good would that be?
All right, I'm moving us towards wrapping because I have been downing these high noons and I really got to pee. But thank you everyone for tuning into the first live show of the year. We're gonna have a new podcast out this Tuesday, diving into why we're not watching golf at Kapalua this week, which sucks. We haven't really talked about that on this episode, but we'll talk about that plenty this week. Do I have it right? Nebraska's coming out Wednesday. Do I have that right?
We're the TBD.
Okay, we're working towards getting Nebraska.
I don't think it's coming out this week. It'll come. Any news on that front will come from me and my team, much like Bryson. I don't know. We're that thing is going to be awesome, and we just want to make sure we're spit shining.
NLU YouTube channel remains the best place to chase greatness.
We see you, player. On that note, I'm going to sign us off. Thank you for everyone that tuned in live. We're excited to bring a year.
Sorry, one last thing. No, I'm not doing it because I want to give Cody a shout out. Cody's 5-year anniversary with no laying up.
Hey,
first Monday of January is tomorrow. So I think it's tomorrow. Who knows what the actual date is? Cody probably does, but I don't. But Cody, I appreciate you, brother, and I want to give you a massive shout out. We couldn't do this without you.
Thank you, Cody.
Appreciate it.
Cheers.
Thank you very much.
Call out, Neil.
That was well done, Neil. All right. Thank you
guys.
guys
You were going to say what I was doing this past weekend, Neil, and give my location away. Busy stuff. Anyway, that's all. Get us out of here.
Thank you everyone for tuning in. We'll have a Sunday episode next week, even though there is no golf this week. And we got a bunch of great stuff planned for the early part of this year. So thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll see you back here next week. Cheers.